Prosperity does not begin in speeches, it begins in effort. Hope is not declared. It is built day after day by people who believe in tomorrow. At 69, Ghana is not standing still. Ghana is working.
This day will never be forgotten. The 6th of March 1957, when the Gold Coast successfully.
Nation building is not confined to boardrooms or ceremonies. It lives in the daily work of teachers, traders, farmers, engineers, nurses, and entrepreneurs.
The type of Ghana that we want should be culturally rich, so that students can know the roots where they belong to, and also they can make use of their God-given talent mounted with their education, and they can come out successfully in life. The type of Ghana I want my students to inherit is a Ghana that is full of discipline, where students can make use of their talents and then explore and make new things to solve problems in our society and also solve problems nationwide.
This is the unseen force behind Ghana's progress. Millions of hands, one shared purpose.
The doctor began as agitator, then he became popular.
A nation prospers when productivity replaces dependency, when skills are valued, when innovation is encouraged.
I'm actually really excited about.
But I keep asking my friends in the NDC that we don't have time to wait for you to build facilities, to build senior high schools before we tell our children. But I keep asking my friends in the NDC that we don't have time to wait for you to build facilities, to build senior high schools before we tell our children to go to school. If this president believes that every child at that age must go to school and they must get free education, it must happen. I'd rather children in a congested classroom than children sitting at home for 1 year without education. As long as they're in the class and it's congested, it is not the ideal situation, but they're learning. And you hear NDC communicators running down the system just for political, points. And they just run their mouth, they run the system down. But there are children in the classroom learning. And so I think that the NDC is only scoring political points when they run the free SHS down. But I keep asking my friends in the NDC that we don't have time to wait for you to build facilities, to build senior high schools before we tell our children to go to school. If this president believes that every child at that age must go to school and they must get free education, it must happen. I'd rather children in a congested classroom than children sitting at home for 1 year without education. As long as they're in the class and it's congested, it is not the ideal situation, but they're learning. And you hear NDC communicators running down the system just for political, points. And they just run their mouth, they run the system down. But there are children in the classroom learning. And so I think that the NDC is only scoring political points when they run the free SHS down. But I keep asking my friends in the NDC that
we rule our homes. We may not valor when we speak, we listen. Are you sure? Yeah. We may not valor training others. We may not valor we complicate. Hey. We may not valor. Come on, girl. We may not valor. We rule our homes. We may not valor when we speak, we listen. Are you sure? Yeah. We may not valor training others. We may not valor we complicate. Hey. We may not valor.
The NDC communication team, stop sleeping, wake up. What is wrong with you guys? Wake up, NDC communication team, wake up. You've allowed this miracle guy to be going around trying to unpopularize the government. We are lucky that people are wiser now. People now know the political tricks and all of that. But still, you have some people believing in some of these things they propagate. First of all, it was this cocoa farmers thing. Blah, blah, blah. Going to the cocoa farms, erecting billboard, pay cocoa farmers, and etc. In the end, it was every coast that came to exonerate by giving less than half of what we're giving our cocoa farmers. Now, because they're so desperate trying to get a scandal, they're not getting. They're just picking one thing after the other. Now the next thing is ECG tariff was not part of IMF. When even Kenneth Wright himself said it. And that's what he's propagating now. I just finished clashing with him on Twitter. Me, I won't give him chance. Me, I will not give him chance to lie or to propagate any deception. No, I will not. But I need support and backing from you guys, the NDC communication team. You should be everywhere on Twitter, checking the ways, making sure that nobody propagates any lies against the government, because that the JM is doing his best, that the JM is doing best to make the country sweet, and the country is sweet, and it's paining some people. So we want to find ways and means to discredit the system, to make sure that people don't, just simply to unpopularize the government. And NDC communication team, you guys are sitting down. We used to have Malik Basintali, we used to have Sami Jefi. Now they have appointments, so they are busy. So this is a chance for other people to become the new Malik Basintali and Sami Jefi. You put a bed or what? I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand. But me, Paddy, Dennis Marcus, Paddy, I know allow him lie. No, it will not happen. Tell you why. First of Cocoa Farmers, you know work. Now you go to ECG, IMF, you know work. What's the next thing? He will now start saying that National Cathedral didn't even exist. It was nothing like National Cathedral. And this communication, wake up and stop sleeping and frustrating.
Sometimes, too, Charlie, I feel very sad about certain things. I'm into politics too by my MPP people. For 8 years, none of them, when they were traveling, they never said, Fredima, you are being part of the catering industry. You took one cry, Becca Honey Uncle. See what President Mahama has done to Rexoma and then this thing. I'm jealous of it. Yes. The upgrade would 8 years, the catering industry and MPP. So I hope that maybe, sometimes too, Charlie, I feel very sad about certain things. I'm into politics too by my MPP people. For 8 years, none of them, when they were traveling, they never said, Fredima, you are being part of the catering industry. You took one cry, Becca Honey Uncle. See what President Mahama has done to Rexoma and then this thing. I'm jealous of it. Yes. The upgrade would 8 years, the catering industry and MPP. So I hope that maybe, sometimes too, Charlie,
I keep asking my friends in the NDC that we don't have time to wait for you to build facilities, to build senior high schools before we tell our children to go to school. If this president believes that every child at that age must go to school and they must get free education, it must happen. I'd rather children in a congested classroom than children sitting at home for 1 year without education. As long as they're in the class and it's congested, it is not the ideal situation, but they're learning. And you hear NDC communicators running down the system just for political, points. And they just run their mouth, they run the system down. But there are children in the classroom learning. And so I think that the NDC is only scoring political points when they run the free SHS down. But I keep asking...
We rule our homes. Women of valor. When we speak, they listen. Are you sure? Yeah. Women of valor. Shining honest. Women of valor. We complicate. Hey. Women of valor. Come on, girl. Women of valor. We rule our homes.
Politics, you must understand the following. 1, nobody has your interest. 2, everybody is chasing their interests. 3, dealing with politicians is like sleeping with tigers. You must always have your eyes wide open. 4, and this is one of my favorites. In any political equation, there's always someone being used. If you look around and you can't find that person, then it is you. 5, serving politicians is like a bandage on a wound. Once the wound is healed, your usefulness ends. 6, in politics, never will more than the bereaved. They will get the reward while you inherit their enemies. 7, in politics, in any event, if other interests conflict with your interests and you have to choose, always choose yours. Number 8, never cross oceans for politicians. You may drown. And it goes on and on. But then he concludes, and that is where the real lesson is. He says that as much as I understood the sentiments he raises in the above pointers, the question I ask myself is, if not me,
with sincerity and so much pride. Welcome home. Today's ceremony represents the culmination of a legal and administrative process through which individuals with strong ties to Ghana have formally become citizens of our republic.
On behalf of His Excellency the President, John Dramani Mahama, and the good people of our nation, I welcome you. While it is true that we are here today for a legal ceremony, we are also here to affirm a simple truth, and that is that distance may separate our people, but it does not erase our identity. Thank you. Ghana continues to be a home for the global African family, and your presence here today marks a significant moment of renewal and moral reconnection. Today's ceremony, therefore, represents citizenship, but also reconnection, healing, and restoration. Ghana's relationship with the African diaspora is long-standing. Our founding president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, saw Ghana as a gateway to unity, dignity, and progress for all of us. Ghana's independence in 1957 was not meant for Ghana alone. It was meant to create freedom and opportunity for Africans and people of African descent everywhere. That vision continues to influence our national policy. Across the world today, the African diaspora represents one of the greatest reservoirs of talent, knowledge, innovation, and economic strength available to our continent. The government of Ghana also believes that the relationship between Ghana and her diaspora must go beyond economics. It must be rooted in identity and a common vision. This is why our administration is strengthening a comprehensive diaspora engagement policy to turn historical connections into practical partnerships. Our goal is to build a Ghana where Africans everywhere can contribute meaningfully to our shared prosperity.
10th day of March 2026. Within the Nana Otu DarKo Ghana Mine Kasama phone is certainly the voice for the voiceless. I am the gatekeeper of this nation. For this purpose I was given to humanity. When Tino Chedia Ponyan Kropon Basayadom Suma Mifrisro, Sami fans and pay Mredipa. Free Sabre Kus and Siaba Besodin Kunya Bruce Yabasum Ghana. Welcome on board. Kwame ma mincha enuanum kruse obi a wotie me bia obi odi ne kasa video fruma ato akro 100.5 megahertz ma mincha mo na me na mase na me bisa mo say pom to say bia ba fine minianum a ewo across all filling stations empong boko trotro stations, taxi ranks, trotro drivers, taxi drivers, passengers ahodo one a STC, one a VIP station. Across all the markets, aka Tia Market, Kotokraba Market, Dambai Market, Domi Market, Alugbush Agboglushi, Makola Dream, Cape Coast Dream, Ho Dream, Edum, Baby Bia, Edrebia will be a Tamale Market. This is certainly the biggest political show in the capital and beyond. We say a program be a doom. Hana Ganeti. Ghana Yansa just when the better than me besanim. My first the PSC and my commander Boham Cabinet will be answer. So na kunya na femi. Baby a commander will be a salute.
So like I said, me ba to betimi joining on Facebook oba na wa me yehunu ba bia wuti free. Obe Dennis Kacheku Aba or say welcome Mr. Deputy. Yes, certainly National Deputy Communications hopeful for NDC. I believe say I can.
Having been elected a member of parliament do. Having been elected a member of parliament do. In the name of the Almighty God swear. In the name of the Almighty God swear. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana. As by law established. As by law established. That I will uphold. That I will uphold. Preserve. Preserve. Protect. And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And that I will faithfully. And that I will faithfully. And conscientiously.
Parliament today. Abra Yeji Honorable Baba Jamal Atum Mrashe Bejani Ujinama Enuanum wo Ayawaso East Abattoir in Pesuaso. Na senya mekan no panyimfo se yede soawa yede jaw soa na yede asoa. Enti Honorable Baba Jamal, one of the things na echo against you in that election so kaya then they say yes free honum, and by God's grace and crofonu so e wugidi wo mu enti wo mama wakonya. Please don't let them down. I know say we a seasoned politician. You come way back. We am ranimini kesiye. Don't let the people of Ayawaso is down. The whole NDC etawechi because NDC believe say ubetimi ayedwuma no. Don't let NDC down. President John Dramani Mahama etawechi believe say una oye the elected member of parliament for that office. Don't let the president down. But most importantly, one ko jine wi aso to aba no won hear mpuntu. Mimpa bonus anka 4 years later, ye betwe ani akọ Ayawaso East ni mane ne mpatem no. Nanka their development. Na why na de ba ya Honorable Papa Jamal. Honorable, say one way to aba no yinim nyansa bebre. Yinim nyansa bebre. If you serve them, they will give you another term. If you don't serve them well, they may vote against you. And that is the hard truth. NDC must consolidate their gains. NDC better power for a long time. Now NDC better power for a very long time. It can say yes, when President Mahama that is the way to go. That is the way to go. And you know, it's very, very important, say, sa and to and to every member of parliament, yenche and ye senebeya, me asenya take over that mountainous lead in 2028. Because some of you, the MPs, are many opportunity, add MPP 4 seats, you know. Listen, it was not given to you on a silver platter. And you jumading and ye na mutiminya sa opportunity no. Treat your people well. No, say originally there are some seats and NDC seat. Ghana for na we mabo. Grassroots na we mabo ni yetimenya sa seat no. Nti enya afi na abekira ho, wo kira ho abe lose sa seat no. Relate with the people well. Senebeya, ahead of the 2028 elections, you consolidate your gains and make sure say you still win that very constituency. Yen pese be do 2028 na we dre no 120. Yes, we dey nkwa seat no, we lose na NDC atefrim. Dabi, we want more seats. But that can only happen if you have and observe a very good and cordial relationship between your members and now your citizens are award that very constituency. Very well. Ma menya sa adie minti adwuma free or quickly. Na me via ya babedin komo me kam so say abedwafo so betena se. Na ya papa and say mo live on Accra 100.5 FM. Me catch that say Se eba ewiase into tuye, eba international matters, eba the geopolitics of the current dispensation, eba wars, eba international relations, eba international security and diplomacy. There is one man who stands out. And sir, papa, anytime one didn't remember me, say me in komono. Many J is say Monsieur de Bibre. I'm also privileged again, say and Masianya, the same person. Na me ni babedi nkomo. Ura Farouk Al-Wahab, a diplomatic consultant. Sir, yamu akwaba mo ha.
That's a major sir.
Ira, you say you are drumti empomboko.
Inshallah. Yeah, I hope so, Mr. Momoye.
Yehowa dom, Yehowa dente se twede kronkron. Ye ba wa kachia na da no asem no nti. Mpanyifo se so okoto se ba no ku a emisa se de na asi. Bisa se na da no e de na si. Iran, Israel, America and Kobo ekoso wo wiase. Eno na yasan aba wonchen. Yesan besua de. Na da no na ye no di nkomo no ye all the historical antecedents. Ye ntiase on even why the war is going on. Who the negative impact of the war. I mean, which let's say but that no na yete say yenu Iran for no shase say omo bomb American bases war one allied countries no. Ana ebi ekoto far Lebanon. Yenso yenim say on diplomatic mission no United Nations asuma anuanum bi a Ghana for krasra for ka ho a ye hwe ne apɛ Lebanon asumdwe ni ade. Yete say measures ni bi to kofa ho no mu a ene yenu no bi ho aka adwamu ne ade ye bisa edien biem na ese hunu ye foforo in the Israel American Iranian war. And again Ghana for no special omo diplomatic missions no, how safe are they? And finally ebasentokwa koso na ye wo asrafo a wo ye adwuma in the name of United Nations say omo keep calm and a peace wo baby. Do they have certain conventional treaties a protect them away from those that are at war now?
Okay, Namincha, a chief. First of all, arsenal, missile, whatever that hit, baby, the frontier, which is the buffer, no man's land, enclave now, UNIFIL, no, United Nations Interim Forces in Lebanon. UNIFIL, no, it was the same issue of Emra, Israel, and South Lebanon, and for that matter, central government of Lebanon. In all the disputes way back in 1978, and Tokwa by Israel and Lebanon. But because Lebanese government only know the weakest army in the entire Arabian Peninsula and for that matter Middle East. And in time nan Tokwane Koswana Israel and massacre the Lebanese population. And in the Lebanon as a country, the population outside, even to Brazil alone, there are more than 7 million. The population outside the world, is about 12 to 13, 14 million. Out of them, by 5 million are in Africa. Only 3 million or 3.5 in the Lebanon. And you know how many army? So rather an institution, organization, call it a terrorist group, as has been branded by the West. LBTA, your form of Hezbollah. That at that time, they say they claim that they are fighting for the cause of Allah. And for that matter, Israeli wanted to push Lebanon and occupy Lebanon. She said they know many Israel, Syria, Assad, Ayadeng, into at the time Israel or the Arabian War. The Arabian War was Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. Israel come and Sambo and wow. So the time that Jimmy Carter and Martha Wonders, Jimmy Carter regime, on pushing the agenda, making peace between Israel and Egypt or Alexandria enclave. And our try said Lebanon forced to Vienna as to by 78, and Israel separated and one Lebanese economy. Then the militant group called the Hezbollah. Omune Baya 79, na Lebanon, so Iran, Eswabinya after the Islamic Revolution war, and I say coup ABC Iran, and then the coincidence because the Iranian Islamic Revolution, no, I had the Guard Corps, and so by 1978, and to year what is called alignment, allegiance. So okay, the moment group be a militant, and I'm waiting to fight the cause of Islam, and for that matter, protecting Muslims from Lebanon, from Israel, massacring them, no. And then the command be in the mind of Israelis or in the mind of the West, Hezbollah and Bayern. You're branding as fugitives, terrorists, separatists, extremism, and then also insurgent group. And they are not a Jew and who say, unlike today, not at that time the fight in the region anymore.
Okay.
And the emphasis was that particular fight, which had existed between Israel, Syria, and then Jordan and Egypt. And the concentration regional Lebanese audience and United Nations here. Resolution 425, Resolution 426.
Okay.
And then enacted established the UNIFIL, United Nations in your friends interim forces in Lebanon. And that one, countries are contribute to forces as non-aligned members of the world. Are almost here said, volunteers they are prepared to go and serve. Ghana happened to be the one. And then in 1982, and I started the operation. It's right from inception, no, Ghana already UN or volunteer or cop, but we did not take arms. Ghana decided to go as peacekeeper. And beyond Ghana, because of your position on the UN, the NPA non-proliferation agreement, any other agreements that Ghana involved, all the time we go and protect neutrality. Ghana is for independence. Ghana is self-determination. Ghana is for a lot of things. The Switzerland of Africa. At any time a UN look for any peacekeeping, not combat. It is a combat operations. You look for arms against either enemy or whatever. Ghana independence has started there. We came from a very hard struggle to get independence where we are. And we support any cause of self-determination agenda of liberation and people having their independence and freedom and then free access of movement, etc. And you volunteer and Ghana is signing a pact to be a permanent supplier, a permanent provider, a permanent member operating with the UNIFIL. It got to a time now around the world is the only place where Ghana committed her troops as a country to do peacekeeping. Until later now, Al-Shabaab, Kakra, and South Sudan, and in the far Caribbean, the volunteer troops Kakra. And indeed, what happened on the ground, I was baby Ghana for Nubenya Sebi accident. So today, Hezbollah have not, and they will not claim responsibility because the Hezbollah claim say the Ghanaians have been really, and then the uniform members have been really supportive. And then at no given point, and if you listen to the Lebanese president, undoubtedly out of frustration, the Lebanese president, could not validate, say, Israel. But then the finger point said, Israeli forces and the Koyo operation, that enclave. The operation was as a result, said, time Iran, landed a year rocket, any missiles, echo Tel Aviv, correspondingly, the same time, and Hezbollah also underground they are also added rocket. So Israel was able to intercept the rocket, but they know the direction it came from. And then they decided to go and descend on Hezbollah. And prior to that, na Emra Hamas Israel, before the Iran issue, Israel operations are still Ogusu or Hamas. On Hezbollah also responding in support of Hamas. And Israel cook until they fought and destroyed and broken up the south and over the uniform frontier. Also uniform, middle, and entire Lebanon. Echo nearly almost to Beirut. Echo destruction. And almost by Nom Kokunkum, Hezbollah for Nasara, Senwa, and it's our boys singing on Israel for Okukunkumomo. That was last year. And now almost he said, and Yama are come off. But Hezbollah is also the key financier, the key supporter, Iran. So what does it mean? The day na Ayatollah Khamenei, then Hezbollah also decided that in support for their slain supreme leader who had been supportive of them. No, if that is the case, they are also showing their support to fight on behalf of the Iranian people. And then the Israel for a day, I responded. But then the Israeli response, I think said it went beyond the normal proportion of recognizing the fact that the blue jacket and the blue helmet, and I'm referring to the United Nations men and women, our middle, into a certain restraint, as it has always been the case, and should have been exercised. Out of that, Israel, you and I know, say, any operation via Israel be conducted, they don't resort to the multilateral or the UN protocols or the UN resolution or declaration. They take what is called Israeli Defense Force unilateral decision against all odds. It was one operation. Their core, one would say, either mistaken excesses. But for anybody to relate, for anybody to say, Iran and a two bomb and as a missile from Iran, Iran calculatively knows that area is Hezbollah enclave, and it will not make any viable sense. So, Hezbollah for now.
Israel for that.
They will not admit, but everybody knows and understands that the Ghanaian contingent as well as the UNIFIL carefully had never shown position either to support Israel or to support this. But there had been several occasions in the past, in 1984, 1986, in the 89, thereabout, Jerry Rawlings nearly at a point decided to pull out. And to share the records, Ghana Army commanders from Anokweli time, now the troops in Uko UNIFIL, Oberhano, Naba Kubia Kunya, accident, incident, Ebi Kunya, amputation in Yamaniama. But over the period, a probe try. But when it happens like that, UN is in the middle, they don't castigate and they don't even, as it were, in the case of diplomacy, say Israel for no coca, a bit creative problem. But between you and I, and the world knows, it is an excessive force unleashed on the Hezbollah at that front. UNIFIL cannot see, but they know very well, and yet Iran for, and then yet Hezbollah for, because Hezbollah for had lived with them on the frontier for all this long while. The hostilities in the bar and can't come the way there. It was done, it was staged out of proportion with extra energy. And then the man called Ghana for. Then, Omeki Bibi said, Ghana a better thing. I'm only adding whilst I continue with the other side of the story. And he said, His Excellency, Bia Okun, Obia Waire, Omo Oma, Omo Papa, Omo family behind. Whether he goes to Lebanon or not, the Ghana government pays them as a military. And in the salary, that UN allowances no crown wunya. Me pache yen sebu omu, yen sebu omu. Because this is the time Ghana army has suffered that kind of injury. Yes, we not do it done. But yeah, now we try to water it down because the scale of it is not. But this one is serious offensive. And serious bomb. This is a full shell on the UN facility. You see these things in African countries. Serbia, Sudan, Mone, Yanya disrespectfully without any regard for the UN. Please, the Betimia, Yamaya's troops soon and step back. And we have an agreement that we've been on. We have agreement that we've been on. We have protocols that we subscribe to. We have declaration that we've adhered to. We have assistance support that Ghana has given as peacekeepers. When a peacekeeper becomes a mortuary, becomes a morgue, becomes a dead body, becomes an injured person, the country hasn't got money to replace. And then African UN battalion, Ghana, Nigeria, whatever, when even there's an injury, call it a very injury, a disabled, permanent injury. the UN insurance given to African countries, and for that matter, African military member, it is not as compared to German army, as compared to American, as compared to Israeli.
That's what
that is what I'm saying. Say categorically, we know how it is. Normally, they put the Africans on the front line, on the belt, to interface the fire. They put them there. South Sudan, yes, we went on peacekeeping, but they put us. Yes, army for no. They go as a united body, united front. Coordinate and minimize any casualties at the Santo. But who shall say injury be bad? Young Ghana army. Uniform Hona combat a yuan. Yes, soldiers be prepared. The soldiers do done before the time. And then compensation at the amount. Let us open the line, let them contribute there. Or Lebanon or Kupra, and then the amount. Where's the UN insurance for them? If it was an American army, which doesn't go on UN program, which is a British army, that can go on UN program in a different direction. The Israeli army, they have never joined UN program before in any part of the world. Wow. Why? Because they believe that so-called UN program, maybe because well, it is so falls back on the Israelis for them to take care of. Anything America on contributing the troops to the UN for any other purpose. They go there as just only technical men to go and give instructions on intelligence as consultants, no more put up. But they don't think they're military to go there. It is a year they did me to a not be nearby. His Excellency and your government step back and pull out so that they will not draw Ghana into the conflict. Because
can they draw Ghana into the conflict? Near the helm,
they not draw Ghana to fight, but when let's say in open confrontation, a Ghanaian army holding gun comes under fire from the enemy of both sides, either Hezbollah or Israel. Do you think that what happened that day? They were asleep in their camps as peacekeepers. But if it was at daylight, and IGF or Hezbollah or Kwetu and Roshutu Adema, the moment that they open fire in retaliation, it is a recipe for Israel. In this case, you know how Israeli Defense Force will act if even one soldier is injured by Ghanaian army.
Me patrol, what down? Who should be with the Hague Conventions? Na Osan share the Geneva Conventions. Na they are somewhere. Say, in fact, during war, your akudiebu hon mukrampa ebia relative to nuclear weapons untimi nyusu ni ade baby won mo so untimi bombe say for instance school ebia hospitals any insuo any ade in this case we mu ewo under United Nations conventions are omo ye peace keeping calm. I mean sa rules no apply during war now because I don't get it. Say United Nations, aware. So aware. Say there are some people keeping calm and peace under UN convention. That's still you tell me too far.
Papa, the rules of engagement of the UN, as far as some of those declaration resolutions and then agreements, etc. Now what kind of protocols now can UN itself, in my view, it's a world organization that has lost its bite, and it doesn't exist. It exists on only one day when there is an UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, that will feel the presence. And even that, look at countries that comes into the chamber and bulldoze. Why would UN sit in isolation and then how many countries are involved? 187 members association. 3 countries are fighting. Where's the UN troop? Why haven't they had any resolution? Say, there were Israeli-America-Iran conflict, which is spilling over to the Middle East and the Arabian Peninsula and the Persian Gulf. I don't know, UN immediately won't put up no more conquest stop fight.
Yes.
Now America is near invasion. America is yet to enter on the land. Where's the UN? The UN will wait, and when the catastrophe has already occurred, when people are displaced, they are interested in displacement. They are interested in refugee. They are interested in medical, the FAO, the UNDP. What is their interest? That is the business aspect where they can mobilize money. UN officials, UN commissioners, UN secretaries, UN etc. These are the things that they are interested in, not to abet. So if it's an organization that is interested in dealing with problems more than dealing with problems, more than dealing with prevention. What is that organization to be taken serious? We don't need to take UN serious, and they know they don't take themselves serious. Anything our countries go out of their way to do things that they want to do. And Spain, sorry, or Italy, and it is dangerous because there are precedents of Russia and Ukraine. Where is the UN?
Okay.
Has UN even come into the system?
Very well.
It is European Union and then Russia, European Union, America. Where is the UN? The UN monitor and coordinate. They don't do anything about it.
My last two questions and we are done. Last but when in what the international humanitarian law fa and tokwaho ni ade you need any security convention bia yasayana, because I was reading somewhere and I came across a part I want to say, oh, if we are say aqua science empu say obi ye bibi na ontiase ansa na one beku entokwa no with justifiable point no obetura command the United Nations Security Council for approval ansa na you do that attack. And I was learning say America did not sign to that part. But is it true? And if it's true, no kahunti na ebi America timi attack anyhow. So for instance, wakwache Maduro, Venezuelan president, and that is a sovereign country.
But America a permanent member of the UN Security Council. Russia permanent member. China permanent member. France permanent member. And then the England, UK permanent member. 5 of them. And then we keep having revolving UN Council members Oba Tempora Ebeche Ghana 2022 were a member on the Security Council. But the 5 over veto powers. And then the veto power, America has always exercised a veto power to do the oppressor. Disregard for the UN existence. And then America also convenes themselves on the fact that on the land of United Nations, which is the UN 6th and 7th Avenue of America, that is the United Nations enclave. It is on the land of America. That is the host of the UN. Then American law has a part that suggests that the American president has the executive power to conduct. State America is talking. Sovereign nation America is talking. The president has the full power of the land America, which UN is a guest. The president can authorize what is called military action or what is called military operation. Disregard. And then what they call the Homeland Security Act, that anything American perceives, say, a danger to the citizens of America, to hell with UN. So therefore, the American president Biano invoke the Military Operation Act or the Military Action Act of the United States of America government, and the new Obama issue under the radar, flew from America, entered the Asia Peninsula or the Asia region, went to the sky, the airspace of Pakistan, and then went to kill Osama bin Laden, flying over Afghanistan, flying over all countries, the Persian countries, to Abbottabad, Ekokum Osama. It was an operation. Then President Bush, or use operation, I call Afghanistan. And then President Bush, or use operation, I call Libya, or they call Iraq. And then President Obama, and Hillary Clinton, or they call Libya, echo your operation. They don't tend going to war. They don't tend going to invasion. They go with the idea of military operation. But when it becomes difficult, then they upscale it to invasion. Then they upscale it to war. And that is what we are seeing now. Where is the UN? So the UN itself, the substance of UN and those agreements now to a with security law beyond the war, which is POWR. But what do we hear? The architects and operators on the front, they boast of what they've killed, how many they've killed. You listen to President Trump, and then, I've killed them. We've massacred 1,200 people. Are they military? No. You made mention of schools. How many schools have not been bombed, even within Africa? How many hospitals? Now the fight of the day. Countries disrespect UN protocols. And for that matter, Israel, oil operation, our West Bank, Ramallah, no patient, our Gaza, or your West, East Jerusalem, any other places. All hospitals were graded down.
Wow.
But the UN churches.
But that is against and other sanctions,
That is what I'm telling you. You sanction them for what? There is International Criminal Court, ICC. The same UN supervised Taylor is in jail. The same UN supervised your president, Laurent Gbagbo. He was in jail for 10 years. The same UN supervised Karadzic under UN Secretary General Kofi Annan, Milosevic, Ibrahimovic, all those ones, because they are from Balkan states, they are like Africa, they didn't respect it. They went in. How many times have they indicted Bibi Netanyahu? Has he responded? No. Has anybody gone to arrest him? No. Where is the international law you're talking about? Nil. It is UN, it's a selective what? Organization that a case between Ghana and a case between Saudi Arabia, they don't want to deal it. They only give in to the country that pays more. When it's a case between an African leader, they are quickly being what? Why? There was a genocide in Rwanda, the genocide in Sierra Leone, the genocide in South Sudan, genocide in Burundi, genocide in other parts of African countries. But where you have a godfather that supports you and they sponsor that particular issue, UN has got nothing to do with. Omar Bashir of Sudan, he was indicted as war criminal. What did he do at the time? Let's say, or South Sudanese, Ampa, only John Garang and SNG. The UN made sure that South Sudan has their country. After the sovereign nation was created as the African youngest country, South Sudan, and Tokwani Twekana, and then the UN 4 years. What have they done? Why would the people have independence and they'll be fighting?
Medawase, unkomodi ade na se wo ho ide minim se abre no ye be fro na wa updating on how entokwa na ekọ ye mpa abo ne se ankama ye nko esanse ni musunsuan so na emu me ba se ne atworo a ese case sera ebeba mu a eno nso ye bra Penny Farouk awa habo ho be kirikire mu ye beti ase nyame nhira pa ayura
adomu ka mo ho so
that's it. Unim dia pa by international matters unim dia Farouk Al-Wahab, with diplomatic consultant. Now back home you between and come out now. You can say you streaming live on Facebook Accra 100.5 FM. You got some little challenges with our network though. But anytime beer but you try ne join it na also far wa jinchire ebra Joyce Frimpong join here so na Park Wacy Thomas and so join here Matthias TP I say I need your contacts Matthias check your DM I've sent you William Ufori and so Ewaha Ibrahim Musa is here okay Jonathan Do and TNT Frimpong Michael and Ernest Spanzi is also here so a host of others
this convention, the Hague Stream, the Hague Stream and the Geneva Stream, or the Hague Convention. I think the Hague Convention is 1877 or so, and the Geneva Convention is 1901 or 1907. That basically the Geneva Convention and international humanitarian law that we are talking about, it basically talks about in any combat, in any international to say never say Israel ne Hamas for the and away to the about Iran ne and your friend internationalized. That means any nipa too.
Yes.
I don't say the money internationalized. Kran say, oh say Hezbollah no so war. Lebanon and no mudi Ajim. Hezbollah. Omoni Hamas for.
Omoni a terrorist one.
Ha omoni Hamas for. That region.
Okay.
Omnu na eye. Obikan say the topmost stubborn terrorists in that region.
Omo the CNE. Hamas against Hezbollah, and they are one
people. They come together to fight. I would say Israel is seen as a Jewish Christian country, and the Lebanese and we see themselves as Islamic
states.
In the time biano, Hamas for no, and the Kokan Israel for. Na Israel for ni retaliate here. Na Hezbollah no so mo Lebanon no mo de mo wagim.
Okay.
And this all here they are a ma Ghana for no yen peacekeepers na one more. They were not the target.
Yes. They were not.
No, they were not the target.
The Hezbollah person.
Yes.
Target.
Yes.
Yeah.
Na Israel for no person target Hezbollah. And I just say a home from a ekofao.
Is it also because Iran for no were targeting the allies of Israel?
No, it is
of
because
America, to hear the base now.
If you read and you know about the support, yeah, omo support a for Hezbollah.
Okay.
It is Iran.
Oh, okay.
The funding and everything, it is Iran.
Okay. As a matter of fact.
Iran they support you. So when you read the international humanitarian law back to the Hague Stream and the Geneva Stream. Geneva Stream no eka about who is a civilian. And for that matter, an international and tokwa to say when conflict no, they are not a party to the conflict. They are not a party to the war. The obetimianya Red Cross or Red Crescent.
Okay.
They are not part of it.
I don't know.
Baby, ultimate target to ultimate hit you.
Okay.
It is against
the convention,
the international humanitarian law.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah, a conventional. And I say a tese idea in na ya sign say ya ti ase. Eti de wepra. Ya osimi nkubiem. Ana obi a yachi no a prisoner of war.
Okay.
On also can be. So on the sea, ship wa aye wrecked. And so can so eti on the land, on the sea, ana obi oho no mo a okuntokwa na no. Okuntokwa no an wo si afemi ntimi nkubie mayembre. Ade ya fe no ho di combat. Obo se no apagya ni tu. Mi nkubie. We don't attack. Yenkuom. Yeah, attack hospital.
Okay.
It's a civilian property.
Okay.
Yeah, attack sorry. Yeah, attack school. Yeah, attack refugee camp. Yeah, attack Red Cross car.
Yeah.
Ana bibi. Yeah, attack a journalist.
Yeah.
Yeah, attack peacekeepers.
Yeah. And I don't know, Oshe movie Hotel Rwanda. You could realize that Japan caused by UN troops in the Libya.
Yes.
Yeah,
they are not a party to the conflict.
They were not attacked.
Then when it comes to the Hague Convention, the Hague Convention also talks about which weapons. Because the two conventions, seek to minimize pain
in war.
Being it an internal war or international war.
Okay.
To minimize pain, and until biological weapons, no. Chemical weapons, no. Nuclear. Because biological weapon, you turn us and we
okay.
It is prohibited. They are prohibitions.
It is nuclear weapons near prohibited. I don't know because they know say in the face of war, to that. And over krata America the command what's Ayatollah Papa no win or say
Ayatollah Khamenei. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
Yes, or they let another command no what they say. One more yet nuclear weapon. I think someone do over 60%.
And Christianity.
Judaism. Yeah. In fact, Christianity covers like less than 5%.
Yes. But the other been moving say, oh, you can't see a Israel. Not as a Christopher. No.
Jesus was even a Jew.
Yes. And the Jews at Ukaya. Iraqi president here, America for Queen the same book. Yeah.
Maybe Saddam Hussein. And Iraq. Saddam Hussein.
So this is Saddam Hussein. One friend Clinton. One friend a builder. No friend William. Because William no oko UK, United Kingdom, and no me Bill.
Okay.
But according to some of the readings, Bill Clinton echo school America echo school UK.
Oh, okay.
So, eti okofa din William no, ena MC Etitin no okra and what they told no so. Eti okache say he would never refer to him as your friend say Bill. Now a friend William. You see, so that the extent of the conflict between the Iraqi and the Iranis no against their bia against Israel bia no kilometers 16,000 kilometers muwa. So let's come here and get the support of Israel who are allies and hit them.
Yeah, use the installations.
You see, and hit them. Ghana for Adenoa, your friend saying Lebanon, no. The target was not the Ghanaian peacekeeping forces there.
The bigger question is, do you perceive, it looks like, but do you perceive a third world war? Of course, over 1914, and you help us because you're a security person. 14, into First World War shots here, then we came with the League of Nations, CBU. Then they couldn't control countries like Germany and all those people. 1945, Second World War shots here. Then we came with solution in United Nations.
Okay.
Do you perceive a third?
No.
Because then if there's a third world war, UN will not be relevant any longer.
I don't perceive because
China Chinese.
Do you know why? Do you know why I'm saying this?
Because many Russia, Iran.
But Mamincho.
Okay.
When you read some of the theories of international relations,
okay,
there is one of the theories called liberalism.
Okay.
Those who believe in, we have the realists, the realist is hard at the, but those who believe in liberalism, they believe in cooperation, trade among countries, and friendship.
Okay.
Now look at America. iPhone for there. iPhone is American product.
Yeah.
Where is the biggest plant located?
China.
So why would they go and fight? Why is it located in China?
I'm told say America were big companies in China.
Yes.
Yeah. But do they care?
So there is cooperation.
So you mentioned the realists.
Yes.
And
the realists.
They say that at the international scene,
it's chaotic.
It's chaotic.
It's survival. That is what the realists believe.
Yes. So, but America is practicing now. It's not realism.
No. What America is practicing now? America has interest in other countries.
Okay.
That are not allies to. They are not allies to Iran. You see, America will be selective. In hitting the Middle East.
Anyway, said they don't have permanent friends, but they have permanent interest.
So you see, all this theory, liberalism, is what I perceive that will make it difficult for the Third World War to happen. Because don't forget that Israel, Russia, still has some business to do with America. Yes. Israel, Russia, and America,
because Matisse said, Nenko will be because say Iran for a year, many. Now they will go back to Russia for one oil near.
What say Russia, Israel, a court where she Wakaza. The UN Security Council, they said they're not a year, 5 permanent members.
No.
Say Russia,
China.
Your friends say USA, UK,
it's the uncle meeting. America better now, not Russia, not China. No,
I'm saying that all these countries, how do you call them?
And yet, it's well super powerful.
Thank you. So that is why I'm saying that Third World War, it won't happen because of liberalism.
But that was the same thing they said that Second World War will not happen. Then it happened.
What was the level of what was the level of trade cooperation among those countries, countries? So they don't want to jeopardize their trade their business friendships and bilateral and multilateral.
Finally, I didn't see a frame sell mine.
As a country like Ghana,
two things. We will share the economic impact. We are. We say yeah, from Miami Republic into na belief or how be end to end that. But we cannot live like that as a country, and that is why Nkrumah raising Tiana will see the Atomic Energy Commission.
Yes.
He has his own because when him say one day about attacking the pen.
Now, Mamin Kasem say it will be very difficult. It will be very difficult for Ghana to be under attack by any other country. Say a better day say yet you want Africa had my way. Say Ghana, the neighboring countries, maybe a better attack Ghana. Okay, so Mamin found the 5 countries in the Sahel region of Africa. So, Obefa, Burkina Faso, Obefa, Mauritania, Obefa, Niger, Mali, and Nana. So, what's your problem? Emma insurgents no started a year. The neglect of human security. Okay. They look at state security. President Abet National ammunitions, traditional security, or ammunitions, or way. So when you go to the 5 countries in the Sahel region, they rely, most of them are nomadic for Fulani herdsmen. And so on the moment you omunisre. Esrenwa grass omunibi. And they expect that the government of the day will help them to provide at least irrigation as one bit many isuanum. Ama omwana. But they don't do it. Government.
Okay, yeah.
May can be see ourselves.
Okay, all right.
But they don't do it. Because they don't do it, any of these rebel groups no are finding itself into the system.
Yeah.
Now I'll provide this animal. So they become comfortable with the rebel groups than the standing government forces
for the day.
But yes, Ghana has it. That is not happening here. Of course, sometimes we also neglect human security in the na ya adwene every say we ba be attack here and but Ghana we are lucky that there no you was saying when it happens like that the insurgents no and as aggression no it starts from home for others to join. So what I say when there's discrimination when there's discrimination unemployment rate is high, there's no shelter, boys near Duanini nomine nasifo it is why Ghana say and inequality they are not even part of any decision making being it economic social security and everything they are not part of it. When it happens like that the youth of the country will rise up and when they rise up you get you get others also coming in to join. But luckily for us, our traditional system in this country helps us not to get to that point. So I'm saying that we have not done so. If you look at how our governments in this country have been cooperative in the UN activities and ECOWAS activities. You understand? Okay. That makes it difficult for any country to attack us. But you cannot also underrate the security system of this country. I've seen it.
Ghana.
I'm telling you, we both Air Force, Navy, and
no, I know, sir.
Don't go there.
No, me, I know, sir.
I'm not for free, sir.
Freddie Vielemai.
Any part of me free, sir.
No, I know, sir. Human security.
Oh, Debbie.
No, I just say, meaning say a ba asraf. For that now, you see a ba asraf will be as a part like soldiers are on bomb from Ghana soldiers numero uno.
Apart from that,
we are talking about security installation.
Master, I'm telling you,
leveled at current technology. People are flying drones.
Fly drones. We have it.
I don't underestimate.
No. Until I make that was saying.
But sometimes recently, President Mahama, or Makoto helicopter, they are called compliment.
They say, we have the men.
Oh, the men, yeah.
And we have
security architecture. No.
Mrs. Owuremu. Okay. Just recently, Paris Noir or Moche. And look at how the naval group and the others, the national security. You see, we are not wishing, and
we are not wishing, but this is just for laughs.
Obi ameyeso.
Ghana crowd here. Obi ba so na say we are say but can you imagine Ghana Ukraine?
Oh, ekwawa. No cry ekwawa. Say Ukraine ka so attack Ghana.
No, we should not even be wishing it from
Ghana. And Sassem will be able to yes, Ukraine na si Franka Ukraine for the back.
The Ukraine ma actually. Odi ye news way Nkrofo Ghana Egypt. Very well. So Dr. Where you advise to on this war?
Oh, on this war there. Me, I've said that yesterday. I was watching President Trump. The press conference where here Nana me share but the point or say enche bia war no ebesi
so the third world war beba
there be also war no eto betwa
okay
because omo achieve enema no pen bebre
okay
now I also saw what the G72 came in it is all here and one we are Brent crude price
okay
now 104 after G7 cars won't be released because Trump about 88 about 88. So my advice is that as for war, it is no good. Whether internal, Debbie. War or losses.
Okay.
But don't forget that there are war and conflict entrepreneurs. It will not and for
one console nyamfaso. They be on my social engineering or said that engineer the NSC.
But when there is war and where there is war, there is no gain.
That's right.
Over there.
His name is Mr. Dia. Now I'm so happy to have him here. An intelligent person, not as the word intelligence connotes, but I'm talking about security intelligence.
No.
You see, you are a master of security.
So maninka them here. The boy who by the year me man
the consultancy then Obaba me executive secretary
because there is a media consultancy. Yes. That is there. I own Chamber for Media Development.
Oh, okay.
It is for me.
Okay. And security consultancy.
No, I think last week or so I was at the Registrar General. I want to do modification.
That will not be bad.
It will happen.
That will not be
on
bad.
our retirement and the debate.
They
say the media and they will see a training.
Oh, but you've done much. You've trained a lot of people. It's not that. Very well. So you can join the feed. What do you also feel about the whole Israeli, Iranian, American war? I'm so happy. Send your name near Donald Trump, President United States of America can not just say that is what we want. You hear we are say asumdue. So to our brothers and sisters from Iran, please give peace a chance. To our brothers and sisters Americans, please give peace a chance. To our brothers and sisters from Israel, please give peace a chance. At least let me do this quickly. Kwajo fa one way in to tsunami kan kakra. We free the Driver and Vehicle License Authority. Etifia Semono, National Security arrest 5 persons connected with fake DV plate manufacturing and distribution. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, in a joint operation with the National Security, arrested 5 suspects believed to be involved in the manufacturing and distribution of fake DV plates across the country. The 5 suspects who were picked up at La Paz, Naman, Takwa, and Kumasi have been arraigned before court and are currently on remand and are due to reappear before court on March 17, 2026. 2 additional suspects identified in the intelligence chain remain at large. Not just Yagudu. Okay. Many of the fake DV plates released and distributed by the cartel are issued together with fake motor insurance document, creating the impression of authenticity of the plate. The authority wishes to caution the general public on the infiltration of fake DV plates in the system. The authority further wishes to state that those required to be issued with DV plates as outlined under Regulation 23 of the Road Traffic Regulations 2012 LI 2180 have adequately been supplied with DV plates on application to the authority. The general public is also cautioned that sub-regulation 11 of, or sub-regulation, 1111 of Regulation 23 of LI 2180 prohibits and criminalizes the forging and use of forged DV plates, as well as driving a motor vehicle which displays a forged or duplicate copy of a plate. Let me read this finally and I'll speak to him. The authority informs the public that the qualification for the use of DV plates is spelled out clearly under Regulation 23 of LI 2180, and individuals who contravened the provisions are in clear breach of the law. Thank you. And this is dated 10th of March 2026. That's today. Ma yankwa omano na quickly. My name is Stephen Atua, and Corporate Affairs Director of DVLA. Minia yamohamo wakwaba.
No, we have you so. I say we are many answer and that's what I'm meaning wrong. A2 ATTUH.
Onim Atu say Oba Class Media Group awo. Shesha Cry FM. Udru Accra FM wa. Shesha papa be friend Mr. Dua.
Okay.
Okwa Mr. Dua ho no mo a. Bisa na say o hwe kwa me kwachi.
Okay.
Ono ye producer of this show. Ono omami din say hunu sa no. But I think so. Also, Junior said, "Oh, they are two." So now I'm sure all of us will get it right for the last time. Yeah, Stephen Atu, is that right?
Atu. Yes, that is exactly the name.
Stephen Atu. And how we are median you too.
You see that, you know.
Me bra penny. Data, want to say, Mebra, yes.
Oh, she was a new way.
Catch a brass, Mechiane pa, me nyade, bra by me to me mestranida, but catch a brass in Yan.
Mati, yeah, Pepine Nabesra.
Now, Wadama, Mokrata, no, I'm with the Bab one thing, and Suya be, say, oh, you are one so, Bokwan, Kabu say. Minyamre ekaini na
yes mtio pa na wo kaini
yes yes e benankasa ye se empenyifo se yenim enti na yebisa na se bi yenimu anke yemisa enti emfa se yenim so yenim me pa to betima bone tofa mayen krata no die pa ana motivate man bai na emu nsam na nkasa potini den
you mean me that say make say for some time now yebo deru eka say afiwe DVLA ya yani say enam ekwan ana mrebi ebetwem ye issue ye DV plates na say enye ne kwanso ano nti ama emprepi say ama for crackers at the back room ha omo en nye ready and I say they are not in the hurry omo pentem so mbe register car no nanso embranso say on register o car ya enye say anaza wonu kwanza wodi sa aka no besi do kwanso na wa drive na omo ekukuru mra no so enim se car bi wo ho ebia afi na yaye no foforo obi antoye nipa na oye car no oton enya dia obe register car no na ono ankasa use and as obi wo oton cars nti bi obekra cars bebre dia ba krom ha enye so no ankasa ba be yuzu na so obeton na obi wo ho nso ebi oye ankrankran oye individual wakra car ba na ebi aka no ehu atochima kakra na anya accident sa nipa no emra no so kire se wo so onya ahyensude edi bo car no ho ansa na watumi edi car na akwa CAC edi afa lord kwa no so akwa CAC nti emra no ma sankrofo no ho kwan se under regulation 23 of the road traffic regulations 2012 LI 2118 yetumi ma sankrofo no plate a friend DV plate a friend defective vehicle plate. Inti defective vehicle no se car no register ye fan fidebian NC ma car no so se car no efata ana se kronkron I was e see a lot of kwan so na hair driver na ye di fanipa to conduct it in the ordinary course of business. Inti emra no ma ye ho kwan sa na so ye ho se mprepi nkofo di cars ba oto car no fi nipa oye car na na se mia odi cars na ba wa beton otofi wo etua ho kan nyina wie a only ready so be register na so opeso odi car no to lord kwanso lord driver obe ho na sa nipa no wa ba be GDV plate no lord ya born car ho meanwhile uko the same regulation 23 na e kire se untumi fa DV plate no en fa lord kwanso they said the way obi a wa register the car odi ni nonsense plate that born the car ho a onutumi driver wo ye kwanso. Indeed, those abuses in order to regulate that exercise, I was saying restricted the number of DV plates I had to do. Until last year, November, and I am my publication say a fee ebabe dania ebeba 2026 now. Who follow within the category, we are vehicle manufacturer. So we are motor trader, we are fleet owner, and as we are licensed trade plate dealer now, who we deal in those license plates now apply Fabra DVLA. Based on the demands now, you have printing license plate, a DV plate, now you cover sankrofo. This happen na yen. Any extra number plate be our system no. Now so Kophobia will say, as I say, Ghana why they have normalized what is supposed to be an exceptional situation. I DV use ninja. A binomu ashia see any nam chrono kwanso. Printed DV plate maybe edit two systems.
Bra, it's not also because then my one or two complaints actually say to them is so pay sa plate TB so I'm ba hon so yes I be ni ho. Enti two things we be and also
the point is
and also counting ama sa fake professions na
yes. But me can say who are those people or your car dealer? Oh yeah.
Say be your car and open a plate.
Or car. You are not entitled to a DV plate if your vehicle is not being driven for purposes of fixing a defect. What do you mean?
I don't know what I say. Oh, you trim, bro. For nonti.
Auto car. That's a car. The baby am touchma. Say I say na. Udi enenam your friend is saying mechanics who ABA baby who can fix it. Radiator waha now driver ko fix bumper waha now driver ko fix baby waha o ka ni sa stage ni mu a emra ni ma ho kwan se odi DV plate bebo o ka ho that's what it means
are DV the boka asen kwan ho
DV the boka defective that is the term defective vehicle plate
that's your cars so chrome brain nice cars are DV bo
so you see what we are trying to deal with and I make sure say
I don't know why the issue ma
this year, so these are some of the crackdown attempts that you're taking. Because now, we'll be able to trace. In fact, after you roll out your new licensing regime now, this is never back next year. We'll emboss on them specific garage and as a car owner who was serial number codes be able to do. So who can be a chrome, not a car and fit within any of the description now. A qualifies I can for media will restrict will in fact withdraw the DV plate and will block you, will give you access to it anymore.
Okay.
It is some near man who say amount for because any system amount for the cars about no money no more talk.
Okay.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, fake plate no a mana yakan regulation 23 no sub regulation 11 rather sorry. A say enye obi a wa 4G plate no kwa na oni mra any need you. Wa you are in possession, we use fake plate no. Okay, and a wa senya umpo, and a woody plate no nazo ya boka ya who say uti car no more would drive. Also a chiwa and randomly woody. Would I say? Because what it means is that if you have procured the plate, if you are qualified, and you have procured it from the right source, automatically you would have gotten the authentic DV plate, DVLA issue. The ones that walk on foul baby and that DV the car is not qualified. And I said, if you come in contact with the Motor Traffic Department of Ghana Police Service, no, they will deal with you. I know the DVLA, we have no business in that regard.
But maybe a question is, and so what we are putting on what you are putting on record, then so be a OCNT as yes, and yes, I could talk for enti ana yakoji DV na DV no ye de ma defective vehicles e bia vehicle bibi atoche ma ho enti ye no mu a e bia isusu se yakoto new cars ye kope DV ne ye twini kakra se na be ya ye ton price le be kosoro no ye mfa ma cars any problem bia. That should be on record, right?
That should be on record.
Okay.
The OFA Mrana kind regulation 23 from 1 all the way to sub regulation 11.
Okay.
Who qualifies to use a DV and I hope clear.
Okay, but what pushes me into a state of conjuring and say other beautiful cars here will come any defects EBA I want DV. DVL for you also na issue. Everyone issue mom.
You know, and America said we have come to meet a system that has been abused for for a very long time.
So you are correct.
Almost as of last year, before this administration, current chief executive, before Bebana, DVs for 2025, now I issue DVs in data.
Okay.
And the Uber say cars be brain they are still using the 2025 DV. And all crowd we've tasked the police to start enforcing because 2026 DVs are back. And if your vehicle is not in the category, you are supposed to immediately go and register it, or when you are ready to register, pack a car no fee because you are not ready to drive it. That's what it means. And at 2026 year, Chief Executive anchors an opportunity to issue DV plates. That is when the restrictions have been brought in. And and I'm telling you again, once the new license plates are rolled out, as part of license plates, they are designing our parliament for approval this year. DVs they will contain a certain code specifically. As a printing application, I advertised it last year. Who advertised it? Now, we express interest. Now, your mouth DV. Now, we assign you to specific serial numbers.
Okay.
If you have a car in Namkrum, now with serial number, the boss can now investigation. That vehicle is actually bought and paid for, and that vehicle is under the guide of a garage owner and a vehicle manufacturer. That means you are ready to abuse the system that we are trying to deal with. We withdraw or revoke the license plate now the amount, and we will never issue you out with any DV plates going forward.
Oh, okay. I think I understand. It's clear. Now, educate us more. Say, okay. So I don't know if this is a misconception or ignorance away because manya and Yanubi akas DVD the fight ni padu do saying, but come on also to say DV no ye cars are shut down driving because it will defect near there. Say me DV plate, issue DV plate amamia. Maybe it will defect make my fixing it quickly. Now my driving. Now say me driving ni padu do saying a bit my tracker no.
See, this is what it is. Emrea can also award DV plate also. Sub regulation 8 of regulation 23 na make a trade license does not authorize the motor vehicle for which a license has been issued to be used for carrying of passengers. So with me.
That's right.
Goods for hire or reward or passengers who are not engaged in testing the motor vehicle for inspection or the motor for inspection or for the purposes of purchasing that motor vehicle. And what the law is saying here is say mau car DV plate one. You are not entitled to even so will be lift. That's what it means. And
but you can drive. But lieutenant me.
You must be alone in that car. The only time I ever was based on the law I just read, and it said that person is presumed by Emran say or test
Oh, okay.
So you are not supposed to have a second party, let alone load parties behind you in a vehicle.
Wow.
Because a DV vehicle is not a registered vehicle. And your vehicle, yes, share that infidelity who are registered for you to be able to have the adequate insurance to be able to drive it. And at all times, and you know, one of the things you are picking soon is a bikra DV plate, no more the height. And you know that a DV plate, when it's
a DV plate,
yes,
Ghana.
issue DV plate, maybe I want to say from E. Yes, amount from E. Booklet, I have a logbook. No, you are supposed to enter the details of that particular vehicle and that individual. And Brandon Switch say, if a DV plate is issued to a vehicle, it is to that vehicle alone.
Okay.
That's Obi frame was here. Obi me come business me koto me ka say any boy dey nepa ne so me dem register car no ya me the brand. Na wasa to one will be so that I can get back something. Can you imagine? In the logbook no. Ube you know na nipa ba ko na register home. What about the second vehicle? So it defeats the purpose of the authority keeping an accurate register of vehicles in Ghana. And the at all times car be qualified to be driven on our roads. Saka may also a register car now, what you may use. And the DV regime does not allow. Until DV is for temporary use. As soon as a vehicle fit any defect, you are required to register it before to use oil. If you are not ready to register it, you are expected to park it in the house. That argument say me the fixing and me drive me meton. So beton car, meaning what do you do? You keep it where somebody will see it and buy another one. Okay. Otherwise, if you want to sell it, right, register it. That is the only way you can drive it around town and see a buyer. The issue is that me told me register about the value now a vehicle as a machine. What on in a mobile phone? Me turn for now me in box. Do you think I can sell it at the same price? How much more a vehicle? What will be a 3DV for 4 years, 5 years? Or Kotonka name there. He wants to sell it at the price of the vehicle today. How can we be doing this to ourselves?
Okay.
And DVLA being a state institution, we can't allow system say people should use it and corrupt it and then be benefiting out of it. We can't allow that.
Okay. So finally, ansana mo akono. Anyonko fa ben anan kita ho ben na eda eye DVLA ni Ghana aposi for ensem. Are you thinking of Sabia one of the days mube organize abia capacity building workshop be an intelligent workshop be ama especially the MTTD and this is with no disrespect for that job, but I am can't wait because multiple times I post for who say DV send you can ABA saying it here, but the nipa bear 4 and the womb no be sa logbook no we trim near there. Is it that I post for no anymore na so many more payo na me person me who what's the relationship? Is DVLA going to say okay ABA let's assume say they don't know until you be organizing workshop ama union ma post for send be ya because case dey be bregu kromo no any logbook no matwam. Yeah.
And I make us say as time goes on, I'm sure that once we roll out our new license plate regime, when you're ready, you can't even get a DV. And you can, there would be BCCA. But the point is that when we say DVLA, your board running a share, there's a police representative on the board.
Oh, okay.
And that police representative is supposed to bring in and contribute onto the board the perspective of the police service on DVLA Nyama Over Road Traffic Act, Ankasa, and a road traffic regulations. Amra women a multi-sector legal document. The National Road Safety Authority, Omochefa was Amran, DVLA dear woman, and a Ghana Police, MTTD for Musu dear woman. I would say, the system is so corrupted, and we need to work at it. And you'll be one also, ye. Naso Bejiska, Norma Nipanako. We are having similar challenges with DVLA. Some of our staff are trading in these DV plates to people who don't deserve it. So these are things we are dealing with. As for police, we consistently have stakeholder engagement with them. You know, and just have stakeholder engagement. In fact, in the press conference, ASP, one of the ASP, Asante, and Obeng, he was on the program with us today. The Chief Executive of Kasa, he also gave the perspective and the readiness of the police service. Someone Buana cable the misuse of the DV plates on our roads. Indeed, consistently they engage. And I think that we have started detailing some of our offices and our officers on the police TV as well. Also, they have some programs on that channel. Senior, able to me, I'm on to fight crime on our roads.
Yeah, Mr. Tunka, me more kokra, but enkrofo numia mochi omui. Say omu distribute and now ton and they were in possession of this fake DV plate. NCN munya ne say okwamba na mfa so chewo.
We picked intelligence. Na yen officers no bi nam kom no mo say DV plate bi bo cars nwa. Omo say no, DV plate anya DV for na issue sa plate we. Nti e hwehwe mu. E di trace and you say one nipa ba ko so onya DV plate ni fi close to your office na e wo ha chuno. Nti omo trace ya eventually omo go discover obia oton plate no around the area. Also be na your margin say uko ji ana wo hwehwe DVL service na wo drive ko wa na margin na oh and then I was metumi abo ama wanya. Now they divert you and provide the service. Then it happens that these people were actually giving out fake plate EBA. And yes, one program is almost at the insurance, fake insurance account. If you got us a plate now, insurance make a home to be say authentic. Into better Eddie Asiwakazo and prefer the BBC one of them was Sana DV plate nine papa fake. And based on that intelligence, then our intelligence officers, any national security for a pursue case no, that led to the arrest of the 5. Ekola pass, Eko say Sana, the distribution hub was at that place. They had an individual or more a package na on where Jina could distribute. Jet receive and Eko say one of the receiving points Kumasi. And then the other receiving point was in Takrady. So you can see how they spread out across the country. Senior, there will be an infiltration. The Omuba National Security, they've been there for about 2 weeks. But somewhere last week, National Security for the Omuko court and Omuji injunction to remand them in police custody pending investigations. And there are 2 other kingpins. We are very instrumental in the manufacturing aspect of it. The National Security trail Edom also. And in no time, we'll get some good news from the National Security in that regard.
Ejuma de mo bo na te say wo hwe ha chuho ya wo kan ni other places wo bedru na we say ana me nyo tinted we say ana ma me mfa we mo tai ho we say ana sasa nkrofo nyina so mu hu omo bebre na so na yesa ni mai na de bia so mu kwa adwuma mu twa mo ho yi na fake plate wa bontin any some so beji blame kakra wo ana
blame me beji. The point you raise is that I would say DVLA and a private organization. If it's a private organization, you can restrict entry. But a public institution, and you are not restricted as to whoever you meet around. The person will conceal their identity, but what we consistently keep advocating is say abuso kan kwa woko ho na say obi nam mamenye we woka say baby ani pa ne so onye right nobody can force you to a certain service outside of DVLA facility. The advocate say who call for service now we need the exact spot to get your service. Walk directly to the customer service desk. What am I saying? We do customer service desk or request for any service. They will take you through the appropriate process. We will have a DVLA service and you'll be given receipt for the exact service DVLA amount for what we charge.
But Anka, you can save us all these troubles if you sack all
these guys. Yes, we can save because
if you sack all these guys.
Yes, as part of the press conference, Chief Executive actually did indicate that we're going to calm down on these guru activities around our office. If for nothing at all, you shouldn't use our premises for such activity. We are going to work hard on that.
Sometimes I send you more to me about pass here. Mfa cast to say mo ba be bibi with DVLA ha. And then na mo so mo tete ho no mo here. The people who come around when you nap first people, second people, I'm not sure third group will come.
That is it. We will take it into consideration. And I'm sure sir, with the collaboration of the National Security and the Ghana Police Service, we will start showing some examples.
More fire. But we are the Juma no ya no de unim nti mame mo wabaso. Nti mo ya de ba no da phone boko. Media wunya de ameka, we are the No, you are good. Education is a fantastic education. Now, me chabra penny, catch a bra penny said, the kaka.
All right.
Thank you so much. Frank, Yasamu. Very well. Enti Yebra Steven Atu. Steven Atu. Corporate affairs Emma Divieli. Now we himself kwa joke we makoba kwa me kwa chidi nkwa sa Hana Mas. Ana yesa. Hana Mas. Fa abra no mhwe wanim. Hana Mas. Hana bra. Bra come. Hana Mas na yesa abusuya. Oh come, I'm calling you. A live show. Obi abehu wanim. Wana atu no kocho na tuwa no. Pass here, let them see. Kwajo fa camera no to no so. Come here. Edia oh. Kwajo de atu no so. Aha, nti abusuya Hana Mas ni say hi to listeners. Say hi, ka hi live show. Ka hi. No musa ona yesa. Ka hi omuti o. O ka hi.
Hi everyone.
Kasi hi, me na atu no mecho na tuwa no. Oh, koi. All right, so that's it. Yebeka jagum. Kwajo, yanko break him right. Now the minimum. And come on, I no saka 15 minutes. Yampon yebeko break masa. The bonus is here. My who said GS atrase. The GS abantem de yebene fast ni akwenim. So that's it. Yebani ababi din komo. Na komo bebre honum. Yebedi snit se menka mo se say the Oma Bem Bibre, Uko Ghana Commercial Bank, a war Akosumbo branch, Sugakope branch, Winneba branch, Afe Uko Eco Bank, Waterma Main, Ring Road Central Accra, Tamale branch, Uko Fidelity Bank, OKT Market, Kumasia, or say Snet Homes and Semi na Ubitimi Enya, Esan say one partner. With Sa Banksy, who do you say renewal of pensioner certificate, registration of members and employers, so update your personal records, and I say oversee process of SNET benefits, say we education or social security and now retirement planning, say general inquiries, Mr. Baby Amabui, Okonwa, Umetimi, Abwa, Papa, na 2024 Beshan also the Egusu Yejuma in Tinkrofon Gusota. Ana yeto because yadia sano dosun set ni set type of fever, kidney infections, hepatitis B, abnormal pain, STDs, chest pain, high blood pressure. Now him says entry you high blood sugar, and a bad breath cramp no net root at a hepa ulcer, diabetes, prostate enlargement, say liver infection, and your num crampo attract HIV, initially no do no bebwa bruta. Asthma for madrupa ovarian cyst, fatigue, lungs infection. Afei ebi awo de ne early cancer enko akiri numadru na be hu miracle. We sickle cell anemia patient wadru ni na obi won so a wabo wache oye hu hwe enyi wa nomu no emfa. We dey medium inside shegem pa ma 2024 mixture. I'm telling you, yes I be da e wo ho no mu a yemfa da bi ebe na enso nyame yem kwa hayo we de kokko pebinum brutal pa na we sick can say heart related disease patient wo akoma yade bia afi na hyasia opebi ebebo 0246073498 0246073498 na hard builders asase no kwajo makopebi said na papa no on pay profit na tetia no teteso my draw is in international man a champion obi on Facebook be who say my page me say bia the champion of Class FM online is draw what they say on no to so mad different media houses speaking fantastic on agency cry na watro wi answer na si we serious draw that be my guy na draw what kwa just say no hey say how builders na papa nam some ben faso 35,000 about 30,000 about 25,000 ready me mabuabua me salary na no until dey bia me fight for akatua ntum no say no mu twam na shedan cost but me bomb price on being increase pepa kwakwagia ai be 4 acres eti we no me say ya dawa lochebue anase ningu chopoli shy hills bebia obenya bi na me litigation free aya na land gas for no omo me ho yira yon asase ho Into unya bi na say bi no ho a na wafan. Misro. And it's also a service plot into ye acquiring electricity near the into Misro kokupe bi. Na near a best on crank is no cross say all my flexible term of payment. Enti so we scaring a bit metia. Yes, answer I'll be to half. Wahu say utia half no na yama obebo so minsia na we dey treat half. So can you imagine say be a 30,000 we 15,000. Yama bo so minsia na just every month be a 2,500. When you bet no na ukra plots. Janambe na from na Monko Hasas no 0241 665200 and na 0540226276. Perhaps so then said no one will be a use. Those times there were a lot of brands on the market needed to and so be a course man Pepsodent is because a household name. Beyond that, a dear a boy juma it took a case a more fita a more numka Pepsodent brother and could name pennyful in a use. Now we know would the tree no pa na would it a tree anyway. Abusia ya kwaba na ya baby din komo na yanko ton ade kakra nyi ska nwi obotum. When we are back, the show continues. Abedwafo betenase and we will set the ball rolling. Nana Otu DarKo, stay on right after the break. We are back.
Yes, in Sasinabo, yes, Abba, yes, Abba, Afizi, Obiaba Tomato Assassin, in Sasa, nobody the foam, unknown na Benji Estate and Investment Limited, Okofaba, was a breakdown of Nara, in Sasa, Langat Sahin for Simbiran, Atoya, within 2 weeks, Naya Young Pepes, near Zama, Sasa Papa Gugu Baby today, Tropoli, Apo City,
Central University near B5 of the Flower Road, Shy Hills, Afienya To Estate,
and Nambiambia Bebre, in Sunan Kania, are available, yes, Assassin. Oil litigation free and not secure. At Tonsasina, not 2 weeks. Ya ya krata near Zamo.
Aha, miatova, Mr. Kokwe, Nela Nibanyo Dinafle, Yikanya Gade Kamalongo, Langade Nyade Kamalongoa, Kejabana Dota de Benji Estate and Investment Limited. Afimanya Anibanyo Kata Fradume.
But Muslim Kanwe, not Jersey, not furniture. One main office. Our Tama Community 25, opposite DPS International School Junction, off Aplau Road, Fresh.
0555-229-909 and 0248-780887.
Benji Estate and Investment Limited. And Sassi for.
Me Junior Mengro, my brother Hope. Now, when you not Joe Bagrosano. Now, dear, when you mean the Samoa or what personal knowledge natural health care so I hear. I don't know the manager say you. Peske, I won't 70 or 10 so Cassimo Boo, who pros retire Casse. I'm on your June so more man. Say yes, stroke. Diabetes, hepatitis B, pressure, 60 yadia, afichicroma manihunu, and namu yade hodo was oh won't feed you pa. Afe oba opesa o hips anasa o to eya kese ye ho se stretch marks ajo wedie no aboswa ye yi free ho berima obema swa a opesa ye pagya mu no bra best care ewo enkran La Paz Nyameche Junction Grand Prince School no achiwa Kumasi Bantima G Runabout your medlab achiwo baby ani edan Human Rabank woman noa. Sevio so empomam Yeni Church of Pentecost ene di hwanimu. Takwa Roman Stores Yeni Zenith Bank edi hwanimu. Sunyane yawo Rex Yeni Total Filling Station no ene di hwanimu. Ena Takra de Anaje ye ben Queens of Peace Academy Yeni Goy Filling Station edi hwanimu. Fre Peske ewo 055-773-8555. Peske Quality Hair.
Hey, say the Mako who Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic no. Me who credit me. Say enunti no manya award wa. Eya word best. Obian transe Emma Dumpem ya de. Ka say anase me boya de enkan to dem bio.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Esa nyarwan te say ne ekuro etu no. Ne enkan ewana num. Oba na be mo pa wo. Ene enyarwan kaye.
Nansi ama me ka say ene spinal cord ho ekaye no. Greenfield ada romenti ene wasa so le gina na so epiem.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Our ultra modern laboratory and a diagnostic machine sa ahwehwe ni pedua ni mu ankasa. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic ewa Nungwa Dogon Estate Junction last stop fra 0243-983-906 and 0261-651-898.
Greenfield,
God is our healer.
Greenfield,
your last stop.
I believe.
Give us P capsules. A memedry. Manum bia ye benemua. Kani mitutu ya na minkuma bua sese die. Betro esa kum menia G. Give us P capsules.
Give it to me, baby.
Give us core capsules as well.
Emane meme nyina akoko yade. Sisi yade amamanya yem timotete womo no. Yedro no. Manum bi amama de me ho.
Give us core capsules.
I give it to you, baby. You give it to me.
Oh yeah.
Hey. Give us in no. Amen ni jia bebusiemu papa. Give us P capsules.
Ememe wadi ifedu watwede kronkwan na efa.
Give us core capsules.
Apemfo abatan wo mo manufo ne nkwada wo ne ifedu mienu nka ho. E wo drugstore bia motufo nko Give us Herbal Center, Teshi Mobile, and Teshi Adriami. Phone numbers 0543 222 470 and 050 68
FD Ashusha sa ejedi nkrato imu agya to mu se eye.
Of Health on the floor of Parliament at the Asem Papa Biatuja. It was said health agencies any teaching hospitals set aside a minimum of 10% of the internally generated funds now on their maintenance work and the replacement of other worn out equipment. Ma yankwa homano so na yene kasama for pending the Ministry of Health. Mira Tony Goodman Chinko. Penny Gazi, Yamohamo Aquaba.
Nana Mejoso, after Casa Yache.
Casa Yache, Namiana, say me Timmy Fro, Yaku ni Mefro, agenda be crow, Mefro. Now, Wadama, near Yina, honorable, hardworking honorable Minister for Health, Ura Minta Akando, Diatuja, if setting aside of some 10%. Of Sika Ebeba teaching hospitals, any other health facilities in Nayidi. Maybe an entisa and internet ye fru set boy in Chilimu say motivation ekura ayeden na see we are and for so dear Benny Benya so my.
That's the nature for you. Near woman is in hospitals and Primpy, over corner, yes, you in a hospital, no, ye knee way, yes, ye need paint, ye washroom and near what say, ye. Minister, no share no, or tea, him be say. Among shed the wear, ye day, bibi guaquam, and answer she be guaquam. Hospitals, no, ever you see IGF, no, for the hospital, no. They said, yeah, ye war common fund, yeah, this kind of bar, near Charles for 2. Echo for 1 city, echo for 4 city, echo. That no, not a person. So 10% echo into maintenance, no co maintenance. 2, echo painting and answer a grass worker. 3, echo in terms of equipment maintenance. Na yayanes. Into another minister, na ashate odidi ejumano.
The state of your hospitals, is it that bad currently? Or as I say on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you ever say?
Before no, na our form, I can say so now about 5%. But as I say, with the new injection, with the hope na bano, the PGM, it's almost about 8%. The reason is just simple. In the past, now hospitals near feno reimbursement. So Nipako Hospital, the health insurance, all right. Hospitals no cost of musika, as I speak to you, payment of claims cost one. Okay. Hospitals normal claims. A bed in past hospital because health insurance except Sabia or now one or another challenger. More areas of it, but I can tell you, say, we can't bass if to no yeah, boy, a home modern to make sure so we here the skibia near the Bemano. The same vein, one of the areas, Nipako Hospital, hope any one, say, we could do all right, 4 days, 5 days, 1 week. With the coming in of the Mahama care, so people have hope. Okay, I said recently, the Honorable Minister, a donation of anesthesia machine across some hospitals across the country.
Okay.
These machines here, there. When you are now you surgery. At least that surgery assist us to at least hold pain, to hold that shock nanka. So those are some of the things that I can tell you. Say, air cost for hospital. I do hope ever back to the healthcare delivery.
Now, how are you going to ensure that this directive will be followed to the latter? Some of them what in crying. You have 16 regions and a mama directive. Now I'm fine,
for us now, no, and armchair, a human honorable minister, maybe from one field to the other. Now, Obisan and other agencies, are you following my directive? Are you monitoring? So, be a no coroner making sure that these directives are followed to the latter. Because, okay, sir, now or your ranking, no. They say no, coffee or that coffee. It's the same modus operandi now.
I think so.
Yes. And so no, Obedu office. I said this week, where are we going? Well, this week I want us to go here. This week I want us to go here.
So my issue is that fantastic for the honorable minister Mita Kando there. I mean, I didn't know Penasem. But no Kraton could be in America. He's one of the most fantastic ministers so far under John Dramani Mahama. I mean, he's done so well. But I was looking out for a certain monitoring team of a sort. And now I say, minim how you're going to do it, via technology to ensure, say, almost comply with the directive.
When there are OSHA systems now, you are Memuhana, you are monitoring team or ministry, you are evaluation team or ministry. Agencies, no, so it will be almost a Bojuma mom. However, Nipa, when your trauma say be a monitoring team, but you know the way we see you, we didn't yamabu fair, yes, we were him out there. But minister, yenu won't free, which one hour. Regardless of near other things, or no one near more opposite, near team no yenu or no. Baby, my favorite place is the washroom. Because Nipanuko Hospital, now we use washroom. Na yare or obeko fie no na say yare ko back to efie any time obedu hospital bia no be na or pe washroom akọ because o say na ye nyina ye do hospital one way or the other obe person obe easy o ba ko jinso obe akọ yi ohun yi na enya we have issues in our homes. What we are doing, we're strengthening other CEOs so obia and so nyebi. Many who can say what happened in Kolibu, they bring another to us. And let me call Kolibu. Some of them say and conform my ready some suspension based on so it tells you say the core a group here, so everybody is working to make sure that there is that minister zero no the abano, everybody is following to make sure that the work is going on. At the end of the day, we keep saying you're patient. We are all patient. It is, and then you may be the one on that bed. So the plan is to make sure that at all times, we will use the strength to provide the best care to the people.
That is Obi and I say minister directive number flout here. On one JJJ.
One thing about the minister, he doesn't care who is who. Yeah, you want in Chenkwa, you can show say each and an order. Each and an order. On fundamental diagram. So I think, sir, was to be a useful period. We had the writing notes. The first, when you had the past, this is the time for you to rethink and do the right thing.
That's right. Okay, any of the now you say you call major hospitals be Ghana. Me best me be you say washroom facility no. Still you say oba priors and you say you go. But are you aware state how far in the design?
The minister and matter directive, nobody. I was say obia edi ne huni. Eni to obia ju obia sika. mami scans and my any was me Debbie. The truth is that yes, so yeah, monitor system, no. Yeah, visit unannounced visits now again, no. And yeah, your intelligence, na eba na your trade be was a qua na yako. And you know, you go week year no. Your other areas are yabako. Next week we have identified other areas. That is a because of you're not so yabako.
You found to just say, and Yamrasa Obeko Hospital be a government hospital. Now, Copaya Resa, Abibia, you know, Betriaka, and so watch room one, Ube use no CS and Juska.
Obia was when it be an Udua number be a on fret. Now, on your complaints or bar hospital, will be soon chance with Jan and I, and I don't chance with what according so I be this. On Trona, on fret, now, sir, only panel. And Crown or the Jumas and the minister now. Now, you could be son.
What can you see the BC? Me bra penny, Tony Goodman, Kasama for penny, Emma, Apumudia Suya, and I train common. So that is it. But good directive, into hope he say 10% allocation now will be jano. A bear my facelifts of these hospitals because your hospitals need to be pretty dilapidated. Okobi Muna. I mean, quite unfortunate. And you know, it's a good thing. I think that we are going to project on. So, like I said, that Pepsodent for us heart builders. Thank you. 2074 Mr. And so, Domase, and I think so, Senate for. Now must say. Now, Kwame, me just crab. I mean, say be an anchor will be can briefly.
Now, with the hospital issues now raising. Yes, Honorable Mitakando is really doing well. Or various hospitals, no pressure to some who ye. But again, some of the hospitals need no senior Okoha. Nibi bia nika. So what you say? I think say hospital adibia. It's a 24/7 cleaning.
Ebi hoje nye.
Ebi nye kra.
What you call kra de ade befi.
Yeah.
There's one hospital bia me do bia chikoye. Na baby a omji awon. Net ni nyina atete.
Yes, we kra.
Na say afre be malaria.
Na say corner okọ kra. Yes.
Yes. We are welcoming the child with net at it. Now, how can this child be patriotic to the nation? I mean,
you see now, most hospitals, no, and so any crime.
But Kwame, the same people are among my government hospitals and crime. Some of them run private facilities, and more.
So what they
fantastic.
Do, yeah.
The same people know.
See now what they do, meaning say Okukulebua, they will run a test with you. Run a test with you. No much say this can't be. Yenya waha. Yenya waha.
Ebi waha yomo yoho, but man ko. Ebi won say beka to say how mo de. We be abeche. And kwa no private facility.
Ebi hospitals no mo run scan. Ebi wo canto meter. Two. They are very expensive. Bako mi se benkum ena bako mi se nifa
ana ni oti enso ni ba bi ate ohun benkum no
cantonment senior. And these two hospitals now mo running that scan ne x-ray ni sa nyama no
no Kwame,
these two hospitals
two things. Let's set the record straight and let's set it well. Say private hospital na onipa ko no asi say operate as a private facility. Na onipa kono onye be a doctor or any government facility. It means that there's a disconnect between sa private facility no and any government agency. Enti ano no sebi sene board here emfaso nti na edibia. But I am making reference to yenuanom a eye adwuma.
Senior,
government hospitals are private facility.
Every government hospital, doctor, BR, or private hospital. 98%.
You know that
98%.
That cannot be true.
Fred, from a government hospital.
Or
your dentist.
That's salaries you're saying.
Go check it.
I'm a raising private hospital. It's not that easy.
Go check it. All the dental clinic, private dental clinics. Ghana. Check so muna ensign juma government hospital.
No dear. Say be a body park on your juma, but maybe they don't earn it. Say no can be account.
Say no ye ka say okowa. No much say. We die as I say oko sa private hospital.
But can you imagine someone call Kolebu?
They do it all the
biggest
time.
Hospital in Ghana. Now when say Kolebu do benya bibia. Yes, they call a private facility. Now Kolebu amame a private facility.
Sina is there? No. What they will tell you to go and do near about the scan.
It's Kolebu scan.
The scan, the X-ray thing. Oh yeah, it's true. So just say. And men I make sure say. Hospital may do see cantonment. Bako be send for na bako be.
I know the Kwame.
No me chop.
That argument you are making, no. Flawed because they be in hospital.
They will direct you to go to this big hospitals now. What cantonment?
I just say be a run.
And they are very expensive.
Run this. Who say you was special?
So that X-ray ni ebi ni Kolebu. Sao machines na. Yeah, the scanners so the X-ray ni ebi ni Kolebu.
Depending if it's functioning.
So and nutina so accident. Sina and nutina me chano and nutina me bone say ma honorable Mita Kando.
Oh, he's doing what Mita Kando honorable is doing
for the directive for the upper say. Every hospital biano.
Any teaching hospitals.
Any teaching hospital biano. Sika ubenye biya. Afimuni na you 10%.
Ubeja 10%.
So just and I am pleading with honorable Mita Kando say. This directive here, or enforce this directive.
Kwame, another thing I have to say, that enforcement can come. And when you phone at the hospital stand, superintendent will follow because ABI is a directive from the minister. Okay, minister don't so be to me as certain monitoring teams to make sure say it is followed to the latter. But but that you share discussion. It's followed to the latter. But they say, I feel the SAB call into procurement, contract breaches in here, dear. And the contract a man and for nominee. One way I feel the base will be used to a dear chop because we the minta can that bomb 10% here, the Bayer Juma, Anya the Penti, 2 cities, not done 500 million. Near dear.
Minim say, Nana Minim say,
welcome.
Minim say, Omoye Public Account Committee
yes.
On health, with various Kolebuni, Kofanochene, various hospitals, no point. Revelations are not
revelations.
APAP mu edeba. So with this issue, I can say 10%. And I say
we monitoring say
yes
soon for this purpose
because pipe ebe pipe wo you so ma
obi kwa go twa pipe no aye
na 10% no budget you obedi be ko say sa tapi bebre iti. There should be a monitoring area.
Let an Yanfanka who is going to do approval for that 10%.
Oh no. Say when I say yeah, now more than 20.
Now the receipts.
Now try my government because process no one. What you say? So me no me bo honorable Mita Kando. So with Sawe directive.
Can we also say a bit more replicating? And ABR Fabi said Ministry of Trader. I can't say baby to say be a Gehawk any all the trade agencies under a Ministry of Trade Monsono. Monsumunya by 5% now Monsumon 5. Oh,
say some do. Ebi but
Okoka agencies no.
Yeah.
Ebi washroom bong rough.
Enye kra. Sina me ko ministry bi pa meeting anko.
Ministry
bi abenben. Sina eben National Theatre ho. Side on.
Kameyaka.
Eben stadium ho.
Senior.
Such as nenye kra.
Enye intino ye ho ase.
Nenye kra. We councillor by now we Kabori aba. Senior say we Kabori.
Yeah.
Unimso on a Kasama spokesperson on a
Kasama minister.
Yes,
for lands and nature. And Kabori one of the few.
And now Unimso or for Ashanti regional communication officer.
Oh no, and
per this show, yang na support Kabori. Say a ban Ashanti region there. Wafa. Na me no na. So see now Ochina Abbas Nurudin Eba. Abbas Nurudin Eba. Between Abbas Nurudin between Abbas Nurudin ni Akugan.
Omi etre. Hamza Suhini.
Hamza Suhini. Santo Kwendie. Santo Kwendie. Baby Univote and can be ready. No, national ready.
I try to move votes.
Oh, of course, vote.
I try to many votes.
Inti Abbas ne Akugan. Ne Suhini. That's it.
I three Abbas Nuruddin.
But
Akugan and Hamza Suhini. Right?
So far, me the waka catch me the name so about contest. Abbas Nuruddin.
Ah, okay, yeah. Say Akugan. No, say Akugan.
I know no catch no Abbas.
Say Akugan ma out back and I watch Akugan there.
Oh, Akugan official or ma out.
Penny be Mati.
No, that's it. I know reading so ma out to make I.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Official.
Abbas have 1 week in it.
No. So yeah, I am also east. Okay, so he declared it there.
But
he declared it there.
But we omo mko deputy the Dawson.
Kabori.
Mutimi en slash so kakra.
Deputy.
Cause Baku be a say Baku ani say so Okobi.
Yes, that is proof here.
Baku ani say Okobi dem ntiasi o. See no mu say no ye nche omo so mu so me 10.
Oh say.
That is near 10.
That is near 10. Omo mo kodo.
Why say bubom di me he?
10.
Find way.
Mama so parameter no I dey be call into the
me but menje cancel initial commentary into we are na okay.
But mo slash we no
Ashanti region.
So be there slash so say open contest.
All the 16 regions na got to aba no.
That's right.
Before I obey what you so contest election, will you ask yourself, may you vote saying in each region? Social media for no, about 99.99% and to abandon. But what does it? A 100 year ABI just for an initiative of campaign visibility.
Na
social media that offer.
Na social media for a young one or a grassroots for no.
No, okay. A police station executive, you don't vote in a national contest.
Okay.
But what I say? Yeah. A constituency in the region near appointees now. We are very certain say positions in now better honor at the national level, especially communication officer. A position we are yes a vacant never feel like a big shoe I was in a big feet to occupy it. And there never be a lawyer's a medium fee at the political communication I could drone. Kwame enye adamfo dada do wi asem
ena we so no enye women of value bi asem
eti we nu hu de men kan women of value eti we nu Kwame you must be strong to tell your friend and your brother when anim say ka chense we die untumi nyo
yeah
because Nana 2024 election for me, baby, I'm telling my analysis I'm here was one way to be easier than 2028 election. Because 2028 election, all things do look
difficult to be easier.
It will be difficult compared to 2024.
You said easier.
The 2028.
Yes.
Oh,
okay. Analysis because and they are now for us in the name of incomeness to lead near there. Distracted young cry who M1 in 90 focus on the 1 year, 3 months into a government. People are already thinking of who becomes the next flag bearer. When you have a mandate to deliver, I know a problem, it doesn't mean
flag bearer near draw.
now what is a man for Kakana? Now you want us to bury our heads in the sand. It has its own negative consequences. It has its own negative consequences. We didn't come across war.
Also, beyond declare officially.
Me, Pacha, we didn't come across war. Oh, say you know the kind of meetings that goes on. Oh, say that what you minister. Those things must stop.
Also, will be ministry.
But what I say, let us know. We have a test of presenting a new face. All things being equal in 2028.
For the presidential.
We John Dramani Mahama in the 4th Republican dispensation. Candidates many in the first one are winning election. We John Mahama no here me also vice here who also succeeding near there. Who? So in terms of marketing strategy, we must double our steps. 2028 in Nyagro, and that for that matter, you need a communication officer who are excelling in one of the most volatile regions in this country, the Ashanti region. We need the tactics of our opponents because that is their World Bank and that is a bus.
Okay. Yeah, not just say
deputy communication. No, media have a vision. We need one person from
who's a media
from through and through party line, and one person who have done a bit of media. And also
because
you see, there will be a time you need that media person to do coalition, to do mobilization. Because as soon as in the government go back, media as soon as you saying get the point, and all those things will play out, and that is where the girls are happy. Some people are contesting.
And
I think the girls are happy that some people are contesting.
It's okay, some people may but oh dear, I mean, just say my dream home, you know. But I mean, just say my Daniel. Look, let's face it. You see a small banyans in it, and small mountains. Kabori. 2 main languages. A fashion out so well in politics to start with. 3 English in Ghanaian politics.
Yeah.
Se Kabori ka 3. Kemi akwa say ono tro akankasa ho. Se Kabori ka brofo. Kemi akwa say Queen Elizabeth
Mini one of friends be.
Okay.
No go for be pa. But they are part of this environmental advocates against ravaging effects of illegal mining in India. Share on one of your English platforms.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jack. Now, Kabrofu saying I won't time by English also. Now, see the people who fell within the supply chain from the very pit to the mercury shop to illegal, smuggle good. How many of them speak English? It's a constituent.
Exactly.
You must identify the language that sits well with that constituency.
It drew baby I want pebble for no account.
Yes. And Nana Wadaroma, you see for me or Moka Kasai or Mokasa or Motieno. And they say, Omoka on tears here what state of emergency means. But no also a pressure binds on the state of emergency. And so now why has the pressure come down? Because it is best to speak to a man in his language. Understanding the yana was so.
Mandela said, "When any pakasawo, kasabiama, a kunitrim. The morning kasawo, no one kasama konakumo. Okay, me patrol over to me. No, let me take the Let me take the initial commentary from council.
Oh, seminal. Ninsem no atoma kuma so. And I think say with
it doesn't matter whether the person owns the hospital or not. Most of them have alliance.
Yes,
it might not be their own, but they have alliance with them.
But say private hospital never wedding.
Offer.
And I mean say in a private hospital never wedding. They built it for profit purposes. And nothing your government.
So why would the government institution refer me to that same place when they know I don't have money?
I want them support to Kwame.
And I make sure said hospital too busy. Hospital too busy.
Link with government
hospital. Link. Hospital too busy.
Private hospital be our link with government hospital.
Hospital too busy. So just
no, no problem.
Liver scan nessa scan nessa scan. Ya fonko right at the work left. Omo boss where
dey. Na cantonment as me hospital cantonment ya. O be hear senkura meju 2 billion. And so I don't dey do betumi na obeko. But sir, your state institutions kolebu any idea na makọ home face media me so me climb ni
na by virtue of so obi akwaje the contract we so my on commission basis
yes
what me refer a candidate a patient o dey o say na ma kwa na fe ade anka me do ne ko ma mtwa me na bo no de kwa me ho no na ho no de la because me bra obey neurosurgery na ye kokolebu MRI scan na ye ntwa ne machine bi wo ho ne ya direct ye se ye nko hin
I say na you can't to me tell ana
basa sika kwatua akra ya surgery no half I later no obi say doka obane bomb of blessed memory na me first dog they are kwedi o mse nsan ko twa de no nti de kwedi ahode no so no so gina so me fe machine na say as papa ye twa bia ma ye kolebu kwa
machine
less than 5,000 cities meanwhile you tear almost 20,000
wow that's a 20 no dey o
eti na m say na no make say Ghana at system e bi wa bia na scrap ya say e be di 7,000 ya yi but we must remove the human interference in a woman no masa uyo ni aburo say ya say unko heavy
na cho e be 70 kazo ye mo akwaba empo mo ko there
Temanado
ye the radio say ye hwe ye
Obana council so be kan ba
yes,
communication ana obeka women of value adibia na
me vote
Kwame mama fa topics no
nto obeka women of value adibia na
no wala wa ade
Kwame we are not discussing women of value we have very important issues we are discussing
hey
women of value I mean
hey so you say I say omom ko they are not important
oh can I say that
no
the point I am saying is
and you cut topic no
David one obeya no makmanu akofrem ha but women of
no I say omom ko they are not important
we are fasting
women of value
no but you can't say omom ko women of value are not important say they are important issues
if I said anything a good women of value for anymore say metwe sign but what I'm trying no you shouldn't disrespect women meaning me the same and you don't ever be discussing
okay
I believe women empowerment the only issue has to do with say if you say nanaba at a point or Kassetia NDC and you see there are certain times as a country yanti maybe I say
okay so say just
women projection what is wrong with that BBBia NDC MPP BBBia NDC MPP Masa we are building a nation we are not building political parties
okay
come on and Ushe Mukrempua gold ball jewelry for our sponsor na make kind honorable A
no
but say they gave them discounted prices. They gave the things they bought. They gave them. I don't know if they bought
to some share ring in Biana.
They bought and sold there. I don't know.
Okay.
And I good well.
Also, they gave them discounted prices.
Media. Honestly speaking, as a young man, I don't have problem with it.
Yeah.
That is one of the locally motivated big stages for women.
Kabori.
As you need to be this our platform now to Ghana good dear.
Kabori.
What's the big deal?
Say Genevieve Inaji of Nigeria. And now any of these African ladies and the A-lady set projection. And yeah, better than Makasa Ghana for my domunye. I mean, we should not.
No. It's almost sponsored across my idea.
Now when you're women empowerment is so
my idea.
Oh, council, women of valor.
Member ka women of valor.
That be madonna for me.
Okay.
I don't sunga.
Me kada member ka. Kada me ka.
Obesoka.
Me say me.
Maybe you know come about to make Ghanaian peace keepers. They were caught up in this Lebanon attack and Ghana's economy in the Middle East crisis. I don't know Ghana is ready for the shocks. And one thing, but I think women of valor thing is also topical. You may want to touch on. Minimum, I don't have any challenge though.
You know to Rabbi Maminchio. Minchia, it's if I show from Pimpim. Na Minchia Minya Kabore. Mimunacha. So good to see him. Na Minchia
a planner see a baby meeting. It's been never far.
Na Minchia production team. Na no to. Just so that Obi Quadrin there, BB Bonnie be waiting and missing. Man can want some. This woman of valor thing. In fact, I've not followed it, but I've seen the backlash. I've seen all the issues. The only thing that it means in the NDC party and the government needs to pay attention to few things. In Kawanyasem, in Kayi, in Koya Badubo, the good board, what shall I see?
if he's able to truly, because now Good Board is also denying sponsorship. They are saying they discounted. Then got to add discount, so I know. So what's the problem with it? I don't see, but it means that you should also not shy away if you sponsored.
You shouldn't shy
because sometimes but I have a business. Sometimes I also give discounted rate, and it's seen as part of sponsorship. Sponsorship in there. I have billboards. So you are coming for billboards. I say that I can't do printing for free for you. Mean to me rental because assembly for you instead of 1,500 cedis per month, I'll give it to you at 500 Ghana cedis per month. A sponsorship. And I don't see why you should shy away from it. If you've done it, what is wrong with shying away from it? Because at the end of the day, when you do sponsorship, there is an agreement in terms of leverage as a sponsor. In the sponsor BBA, maybe war flyers are warrior, war adverts are warrior, wherever they are going, they put your logo, or maybe they give you opportunity to sell your product at their particular event. There are different dynamics to all these things. And Good Board, sometimes they probably have a communication and advertisement budget. They are spending money to go and advertise about it. So if there is an event,
women are the biggest consumers of jewelry.
Exactly. So if there is an event, it's an event. It's bringing on board people that Obeboma Waton Wonyama. That's a sponsor. I don't see anything wrong with it. The only side of the coin I there, and let me say, some free you did with fear. No, be into the worry they did. So for me, it's not about the individuals involved. But sometimes you also hear that some NDC people say that they were better off under MPP than now. And anti-bida. There are some NDC businessmen they are working there. NDC MPP would know when you're more contract than they.
Oh, okay.
The same way MPP. The same way MPP for do what? In the NDC for be.
No,
there are some MPP for be so and also that what they are enjoying more than NDC. You understand? So for me, I think some of these things, if not for our extreme partisanship, until I understand America there, Ghana, we are still under slavery. The slave master Yekitesisia or your extreme partisanship. And until they able to focus on patriotism, they will not be totally liberated. Because among your Samano, Adrukunyan to the extent today, everything we look at it from a very partisan lens. But like I keep saying that if you're in Sembi or Wa, that needs to be given attention. Because I know too, our cry Kebida, and I've also said it before because I've met several people who have expressed same that, for instance, you are a minister or you are a CEO, baby or there are issues you are facing. You know that in the media you have friends of the party or friends of the government. Do you even call one? If one there, issue you be but na discuss na mama idea musumuti studio go will complain. What do you think? Do they even give you guys that opportunity? Do they even inform you though this is what we are doing? Na mokota na wa musumu too much na. Sometimes those are the issues people are facing. Me part about bim. Na menya police yamanzi keke na de ebi my boni bimpo. Sometimes I just need to show that musumi mo penyi bi keke. Ebi kra me share girl bi me na bo ko na me pere girl no na hwe. Minister kra me friend obofa. Ma fra wa 3 years in fact.
3 years.
Na 4th year.
4th year
so that is where
interestingly election your friend of
that is where sometimes the issues are. You understand? That is where the issues are. And now go for a brain met one I say obi free house send them 200 send them 500 send into one break. It's all quite near my son, you be our friend me, or Bajikakra. But we should also know, no, you be a send your friend for Ska. Sometimes we should also manage it. I mean, I am met to go for me, because the me cry, me ya be me cramp, no, too. Cause I mean, the fact that you sit on radio or TV,
go to be friend, I say. Australian person, my friend, President Muhammad, and I make a same bitch, and I'm so you catch it, make it. So what you say here is as if the DM is running.
You have access to certain doors, and you can't buy you be a bra. You know too. Wonderful, you understand. I understand Obia issues.
But can we also advise the NDC youth, NDC women especially, should also take advantage of the existing opportunities. So, if say who say empo, a gold ball jewelry to me sponsor, no matter sponsor women of valor. Can you imagine an NDC women group also putting a project or a program together and going to the same place for sponsorship? Yeah. So instead of the extreme criticism, let's take advantage of the situation. Me in case of my sponsor, but grant some sponsor here. Women of valor and pony sponsor. Now this group where more baby be abua Ghana na yen sponsor.
Yeah, so for me I think
now yen push Emma. Let's push our women.
And mukwa na one support mother.
Let's push our God na yen ton help. I'm on a different exchange brain. It is a program or UK. Now I'm pampa some sponsor here. If I'm going to tell you one day come home. Now we soon so and also.
And if you want to employ someone as a marketer, don't go to UK to go and market the gold border. The process will be go through now, the expenses are probably is less than the sponsorship.
Whatever I mean in program as a crowd. No take advantage to sell your jewelry because a man that told jewelry is be brave.
Probably they did. Who knows? Anyway, but
a far NDC who will be going NDC and the Becca. By name be more. I mean,
anyway, producers yanko a US.
Some producer no interest in minimnia na naba na mwa ye Kwame Kwachi. Kwame Kwachi pen na naba na mwa sem kete. It's bad. Cancel, interest. But na naba na mwa no so oduebu. Nye bibia so na enso ye ka.
Na mamika kakra. Say maybe a penny at work now. Sometimes penny say a work my upon numera and then you will huntia. Sometimes some of these cry from the base, as a reason. If they cry no more, they have supported those cries with empirical evidence. Show videos and a number speaking, her mind. It's mark as a free speech into na or coins or candy open. But as political animals, they can be with you. You can forgive, but you can't forget. They are not based, on ordinarily things that once nipa na your evidence in the yet me nyeli being take a crowd ya me and fana don phobia. No. It must reform form. You see, in politics, there is no permanent enemy. Neither do we have a permanent friend. Sometimes your enemy or your friend will be determinant on the interest. You see, a good one, it no krumhano. If a good board of man on her na the unified chain and the oceano coin. Indeed, whereas I'm feeling a powerful by in just about a year and few months. Omasumi esumba. Omako another step for say, young for good board jewelry. And may replace it then PMCC jewelry. Na gold no nyeni na na edebeko. Yen na ne bi mfanye komu ade nka ane ade. Buakura ma wonu etu kura etu gold no wo so no. Man mu no nya fa so kese. Eze ya ebebre gu ho. Kwa ben e be fa so a ebenya attention of both local and international. Say we be saying we be be atwa wa beto. If you feel a platform this ano bama kesi a bitimi ede oni emagusu a obi abehuna betobia nyi ni se boni bia eden asi the moment you hear the positive side rather than the negative side ba ye ni esi atoka ama nana ba namwa ana ya ni minister of one ana we say dia eni ye be ka say ye grassroots for ni e kono hokura o mfiye ba we die so we sana fachira man no mumbe hwe machira kwa die ni say e boni ti grassroots for ni ye ma yakoma nyede emrafo ebi kura na konam na saa so am ya ka say okay eni mansi bia anti gold board jewelry shop ho obi pe bibi sa atanya fe no betuko agoguru kese no obi be ware a yusu bank right obi be ware a yusu kokumase na se wazu obi abi ana ye ba ne ehwe no be kwakusi mo organizer so kura na ne ba bi se ono ne nkoton ni na aboa sometimes some blessings come in a disguise for one way or because say a curse the entire penufo echi ebi se na me bra penika no. They are equally locally important programs. Can you imagine if Deputy National Team Coordinator Ababa Way, the free Swami, say, or organize a major young youth women summit? It be at the middle belt. Ashanti Bunani Adina major conference. Na watu nsafra kukudam. Say maame Professor Jena no pokwadjuma say ma wono say bia nintini ne akukudam ye ma na actually propose about say the next generation of women no ye mpese o meye ma o meka bukase ye mpese ye ma o madwene say the woman is limited by just being a housewife name woman who can dream, who can dare, who can become nti saa summit we dey ye kwakoye na ye pese mo boy say Owura Same de Mirika and the Bishia woman because he believes in the youth, especially the young girl child. And our people must begin to be innovative. What does it? It must begin to be innovative. Now no ye nkrophobia of Caribbean African descent. Me share video na say man ya about 85%. Now national women organizer take advantage. Owura Same mpese ye fa kwan bi so na NDC for no because o me Ghana for o mo beto aba enti how do you seize the opportunity to engage them as also political party bi say o ya ye timi ma ye kwan mi mount a stance tell the people the ideology mpato others here nti why Ghana ni awie no also join a certain vehicle that drive the development of the country. That is a political party.
The challenge is that a national movement. To the moment a political party will be allowed entry now.
You can't say you're restricting to one party.
Okay, so
as a party, people should be given opportunity to mount stance.
Oh, okay.
Now we organize so okay we na good board support to. Now we pay bad stance no change no or advance it to even telling them the Ghana bit me what good jewelry is about. Kufuzu ba dollars is show mo. Obi akura to change me no offer. Thank you. Cool. These are the innovative ways I give to me and Dan said Bibia Nanwa 70. We should not hold on so much into the past. Yeah, focus on the future because I don't need the mandate to Ghana for their mind. And
even this crying appointment.
David, and I make go minister there. Tabi Kwakumba in Kamikasa
appointment.
Kamikasa.
Pija nsa one other topic we by be discuss. We credit time.
Oh yeah, we bump ni na.
Anyways. Council. Young red topic no.
Them into Koya uja for Akofa Bibia. No, not to a producer from in America, Saturday, I think, is it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday in America there. Nana Kasim there. I know all you to be. All Casanan dim, name you one as swat. What Jan no shen more ye. Warren as soon as we boom, they no see. So I know the work of us some now, but sabi obi ko born wan ko ban no oba so enyo so no see. What will baby you know session Zorko dia it has a lot of implications, and most of the times the limitation has been on energy because of oil region. But for me, I also look at it from even in terms of transport and logistics, you know, because those of us in also that sector as well, if the Strait of Hormuz, most of these trade ships want to offer, including these oil tankers, oil ships are offered. And one of the key things in there, none of these ships moves without insurance. Most of these ships in oil tankers, you know, one costs around $150 million. Into BBI and you are all man such a ship will move without insurance. Especially main fan wako for oil so gum. So the ship alone is costing $150 million. Wako for oil so gum. So you can imagine the cost of it. Nobody move without insurance. So and now because of these things going on, insurance companies are also withdrawing because on a high risk to insure these ships. So what it means is that the ships will also not be moving. In the other trade beyond even just oil and other vessels, and I don't know. In Nana Trump kind of one navy before guide one to cross those. So it has serious implications on a lot of things. And Israel na Iran na US gote obi bia be kan bi na Ghana soldiers say be what will baby wo Lebanon wo bo wo ban at renting be akoto. Unfortunately, as a people and as a continent, when these things happen, what we do best is to discuss and pray. After that, but for me, I think as a continent, as African Union, I ask myself the OCC, Africa, what are we doing? What are we thinking of doing differently?
Republic.
You understand? Because there are so many things that the Asian Tigers did that I feel AU could learn. For instance, Nigeria, and they processed crude there. So other African countries are sabi crude why don't we all send it there? They are investment hub on that. No one and it will be because of air supply and because of sub-region, you know, we can also look at the cost.
We also have to complement.
No, but Tor
what I'm saying is that in the other countries now,
and Tor is processing light crude. You understand? But what I'm saying is, so African countries, you might have those things, but the biggest one, we are all sending it there because say export to crude.
Yeah.
You understand? But if we're exporting it there, then Nigeria now 1 year, no one supply the sub-region or even Africa as a continent. Then maybe one year pan with that brand, light crude yet or 1 year user. For me, I think it will come back to the sub-region. For instance, Ghana and Ivory Coast, when it comes to cocoa processing plants and factories, all should be established in Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. Into any other African country or your cocoa, kakra be a fabra Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. Now what we are now. So I feel we can take advantage of our strengths now. That prevent some of these things because the best response to any of these issues going around is eating what you grow and growing what we eat. the best response to these issues is domestication. The best response to them international war na na any global issues are you facing is domestication. Until we domesticate any external shocks or be shake the foundations of our economy. Can they ain't worried? Because we have plan B, we have plan C, we have plan D. But unfortunately, I am so over reliant and over dependent. Inti crazy pet they are bushik. And because of extreme partisanship we are not able to have a long-term plan. Since Ghana in the next 10, 20 years, this is what we want to focus on. Inti a plan at all. So, for instance, NDC, President Mahama, President Mills Mahama term, a trouble gas. 1 year and we, you know, after them, there was a sustained plan. For 8 years, we got to President Mahama saying, "Be no matter today, a trouble gas was sent by some extension bills."
Phase two, different one.
Why should we wait? But on your bini priority, it's what no. A trouble gas, you will be no or found farmer sometimes. McKay during MPP time, I had a brother there. Like I call him a brother because of where we all come from. On our catch him there, staff need to what be when you do me.
Phone Nana there.
Because like work from Kofu because I don't work from Kofu. So personally, yeah, start today. Yeah, being kind. Mama and China unsini and reactive. I think we need a lot of proactiveness. Na plan ahead. Ne amayofono so. Oma yen na yen tase do odu yen me bi wo wa. Yen na yen benku won ne a national plan on them. That this is our plan we want to adopt and we want to focus on.
So
NDPC.
Oh, you see. In fact, President John Mahama one crowd. Almost 40 years development plan.
NDPC didn't take part.
Okay, so you think say be acquire fast year no no?
I any acquire for 3 years. On am the extreme partisanship na a problem. Say NDC wodo na NDPC. Wori edwuma mpa. Ye fan do ye NDC for edwuma. Because NDPC no calling for them they went round. Dr. Henry Latte was I remember very well on Mr. Mecca. They were GCPP representatives. Remember party BFA 2 representatives. In fact, NDC and MPP I think they had 5 slots a day. The one NDPC team no. So they meet offender. We move from one area
and they had experts on the distance.
They had what called nationwide meeting focal groups. Them focus group discussions. Now we decide on then they discuss at the end what better no draw plan so that ankade na menka but Yanum did not participate.
Like Senchi.
It's no the plan no what ba won't find be Juma because they feel it's not they are not part of it.
The time is right now because now President Mahama will 2/3 majority in parliament. You mean you be being family and they say henceforth this is the 50 years development plan of Ghana through parliament and whoever comes follows.
The Constitution Review Committee actually I would have said some clauses, but unfortunately somebody is saying what is out there is also not the report they submitted to the president, and unfortunately we are not privy to that. But what I saw out there, they had made some suggestions. You may infuse NDPC plan into our constitution, like the revised constitution. So, we feel there's a end of the mobile boy. Now, at least the Ghana you more other renewable energy. Into you focus on other things because maybe I'm until recently, Nanka GBC they will announce the water levels of Akusu. It took one person to decide that we're moving from our over reliance on water to Tema. Mons Mahama no what did the mad in the bay. And I see I am to focus too much on Akoso money. Since when was the last time I ate about Akoso money level?
What level?
When was the last time? My first again because it's not go for a problem or a problem. You know, but it has taken certain bodies' effort. So the same way we should have a national plan as to what do we want to focus on. Then when it comes to renewable other alternative source of power, about now a focus as a country. She say be into a month bar, and you know your system no a system where you need to show results for election. I want to do things that in the short term I will see results. Any of my be or focus too much on long term things. Sometimes Ghanaians don't realize it and appreciate it. Okay. John Mahama's first term, most of the projects he took were long term projects. Projects I don't know for the trouble guys are making now. They are not short term projects. You understand? They are long term projects. So most of the infrastructure, no yeah, maybe most times if a baby I say, hey, now you wanna know yeah what's wrong, John? Hey, sure, John, so yeah, maybe. In terms of what 2 months when it comes to infrastructure, this man has done well. Yeah. So the same way since I was start some of the projects until that day I'm Ghana of yet today. So on money butumpuna. In your money buade yeno. Or your ma yasha sa or ye long term. In wunu susado and I wunu yes ya. But no. It will show forth. Other countries are able now. Most of them took the opportunity to do it in their early stages. Inti UK, Canada, man, underground train system, Nadia. Oh, yeah, no, you. These are years ago, but for them they maintained and kept it. Unfortunately, then they are to part. Na Jumbon. Na you need na mo be seen there.
Abafa. Your mom paying so much more refinery. Say. So almost movie from 28,000 barrels a day to 45,000. And Tiencha a lawyer Edmond Combat name on Pai said any Mabekoye. Kawori.
Already,
bra, faith.
The Dika Mame and that was be Namena what you for us. We are Mira Ibano Lama Kufibwa.
Fantastic leader.
Or Paris. Okoka Paris Mampeni Emmanuel Macron and the world leaders. Now the 2026 Nuclear Energy Summit. Okay. Mogusua Mo Ebubu. Indeed, he really represented Ghana and the president of Ghana. I'm saying nuclear energy and commodity. As I said, this is really the best time to even have that conversation.
Link it all.
Right. Highlight of Sa Nkomodino was even about sustainable green energy, clean energy. Brings me to the understanding, say, once NRA minerals and mining regulation, the sliding scale, airline no much one. Hopefully, their way lithium deal will be seeing the light of day.
Right.
And naka krabia way enemy. So that abrabwa aye kwesi konsu no gina kwantia. Nipa ewo awe ya ne nempotem. Omoni atutu aka omonsem no. Gie seriye ene abrabo mu koso besamba omoafa. Na Atlantic Lithium Mr. Ahmed ne nkrofo omonso atimi ahye omudwumadi ase. Na Ghana becomes part of the clean energy industry, marking our first lithium project as a country. Inti Yabo Minister Basso for the powerful speech he delivered at the summit. Na yadana say leadership really inspires. Leadership uplifts. Leadership bois on my teacher. The Asante said that he been review. In himself, Alberto also desire on farmers from Kono. Assume no Mayama, Afano to my profile. Sliding scale, I make us say, so about pay. over the last few days, what is some heavyweights, kakra, the US is on penny, China is on Tiasia, Australia is on Tiasia. I'm saying, Bibini, Guazibuni, what a same one. I did do a jabber, but could be for. Because for me, sliding scale mechanism is one of the most fair taxing system as far as mineral royalty is of concern.
I have not watched it here.
Say, here the end say, a good year no wutu. Ye pese ye did one to a good year so based on a boy yet toss a good year.
Which is fair.
It is a boy number for more. Ye budget to kuma. A boy no cost raw. Ye budget to work here. How does that affect investment? For me, medium say it rather protects investment and help investors secure their investments. Imagine, say, 10% here now the lithium deal about another year. Nanka one start on rectify no more juma. And lithium price drop from somewhere 8,000 about less than $700. Enka company no volume.
Bankruptcy straight.
But this time around, we are saying that look, and we as a country, we own the resources. We are ready to tone the hard, to take the hard pill with you. But the new year offer, and I believe that is where some of these countries have problem. Until the intia, a buono cost or no one ever check the profits no. But the Sri Lankan ready. So what we do no the resource, the benefits of mineral resources in a country must benefit the people of that country. When you're an investor, you should not just be interested in say obefa profit faswako. You must be interested in leaving a positive legacy. Yes, sir. Enti owura Kofi Boa na no adade osaje fu Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Shazi na abrofu bi mpene so kwasi buro ni vita bi mpene so a ode anie den ye ane bebre no a ye mfaso de ni aman no ni MP kwasi Kwame Nkrumah MP owura Kofi Boa me ga Kwame Nkrumah MP ane se ni kuro mu MP
se o de she konkron
nyanchen
Nkrumah mo jane bi wonu
se bi ye kasi obi ni obi sa enye ni mu nko a esuli ban nyina enti utimi hu hawa opushi ade no eni Srankan rade gidi say ade ade mfaso de bebre be de bebro
na da chi be sra kire no
se na no me ka kire obi se na me ne wo fa bobi na tia na o ka se obi ka se Kofi adwuma Kofi bono that bia no Kofi posterity will be good to him. And I say over na no ada na edum so esi ye Kofi ne Kwame Dramani ka omuti bomu and edum so is a thing of the past.
That best that
so owura Kofi Boa ba bia wo bia that Ghana for that was na that
and the entry be
best actually over yesi se eduan hini ehya ase pro a na owuo aka ememan
obeyede
asemu nsi fie baako mu enu nti na yesi sebe na odwan baako yare a ekuani no da wona because ebetimi asai nyan akanyina ewi ase ayeti yente se yenko ayeti yeni amanfo di dwa yeni amanfo di nsawoso yeni amanfo na ekọ na eba tonaton no eto obi die mu obi nso beto ye die ti asante se aguna anyo a mamponfo ni asumdue ebi na asi nanka ohwe the distance between Israel, Iraq, America ene Oman Ghana there kemu twepa nanso trade knows no distance. The ohia me wono no matter how I can wa obeba habeje there was who me here no it doesn't matter the distance the can we abubu mu ama MPP ni bia wona mu fie na wo chirichiri mu on distance basis say so onyensa obehunu si wagimi saa ni uni ano onyensa obehunu say wagimi Strait of Hormuz was a wine. Yes, Yankupon Shishi Yemuno, a honey, a Punuman Tria, a bempa. It will be a per se of frequentia. A woman, Sicado do and Cardbetina Pusua, what was spending no a tissue. 20% of your found where Belgium in a honey number. 26. Yes. That's about 20 million barrels and over every day. They starting to go and that's in. It is a year calculating down to the freight of Hormuz no more. They say that you can imagine the quantity of fuel. It mean ma ejamaso. They yami baby aye. Edi eti kura yesi eti kwa bibrum. Aha. Bi oni da kura timi da ma de echi asem yensi. Na Australia. Ana frozen Australia. Na no prime minister so president say wo mu diesel a esum o man no aka 36 days. Diesel I 36 days na petrol 35 days. And I say fly jet is 16 days we say na asa. What it means is that they are forced to buy at any price a bedroom. Na the entire order be say upo mbo zo koto de say one to a wo be kun. One to a wo be kun. E dey ko ma dey bi awuro no kra ba dey din na me ba na no kwa be say hospital a yi ba bi e won kwala na net atete. Akora rokora ya waka we de jawo te tonnet akora me de da jumba me
obede anya patriotism
oba ye de e bi ebuma na ntuma we kakra ade be tin
but it's funny
but ni na mu it's a dire situation. I don't know how God will do it, but me dem empire is abo akraman krama beda obo mpaye miensa otufo Nyankopon me mpaye di kan ne se oman ya metimu mamunyo na de bia aduane nkoso na mnya bini otufo Nyankopon so oman mu anyo akuro ami wo su die mamunyo na amanfo ni di mamu bindi anyo nya dompe bi nwe
na krama mpaye bo twato
otufo Nyankopon so oman mu anyo na akuro no mu anyo ha me dabre kakra ya me dai die ba sundie bra iso gross wo die asomra du free ha na mitu ndanye masumdie
Traman pie bon
Traman pie bon miensa no Edia yesra nyame anu no you don't know how he will do it you don't know his plans but economics is a way there to the movie from being divine to economics
and I'm seeing here President Donald Eka through the press now. Why is it plans are far advanced? I'm more some by riches. Please, the vampire.
You see, you na near the empire. Be economics. Now, I know the man who say she have a penny be now no through your consultations here. Just last the first week last week of February no or sign oil import and oil deal of $64 million. Just last week, with the same quantity, was signed on $94 million. It is oil not 100 per barrel. You can imagine the effects at the pump.
It's about 88, right?
I think
about 88. I think G7 about 88.
80 medium message Nyankopon. Oh my Ghana had daily consumption of fuel is not less than 100,000 barrels. We are who's a binia a mama. The abase
Squadron.
I say 45 per barrel per day in the Omodu where we
5,000.
Central refinery private or capacity to also refine 40 to 50,000 barrels a day. Ma this is the area comma here Mami Elizabeth Fusuajare. This is the time we must give true meaning to the 24-hour economic policy. Then Pimben Central Refinery. The betting in terms of determining local consumers, about was a fuel. Yes, you betting say in the price determination no in Yamuano. Not that no seven chroma catcher no by 60 years ago a man 5 years seminal. And then Anchor twice subium. Let's move to a point where we see Africa as a one country and not fragmented area called a continent. Cocoa for more strength, cocoa strength. The Mukam Humom, Namunya sophisticated industry in cocoa processing. More wire. Mukam Humom, Nayan 2 wire, no so poor, Nayan determine a price. One more work with dear. None ya Burkina Faso. Kwaku try require. Watinya to no na gudia dan near since say Burkina Faso di obi aka owiase ma biem. Military dictatorship no nyadia me mabunu metina ha be so say ya de papa. But if it can give some of these wafa anyway we are that you best than babonu. Yes,
but sometimes and so it depended the kind of
imagine saying Gagu Fadi is soldier no be a cool leader.
So that kind of leader.
Imagine say Bami is soldier no be a cool leader. Nano kwade do dey bobu say akwara ba wonu be betuaneka. Also call not ko for crowdment to amaka.
Na can for ata leader.
Enti minim say finance minister din a waye nyina no. They are crossing the T's and dotting the I's. They are finding where briefing space will come from. Now, what that me share, unya, inyina penny edujita makulo. Na o mami certain renewed energy be said. Niyomo can, niyomo wait my head kakra, but enyu who said ye. No.
Okay.
That's
right. Minya Kabori Kasama, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Yenchia Honorable Amakufibua, Baby will be one of the leading ministers of President Mahama so far. He's not only made President proud, but making proud. Those times, doing so by it was the same person. Mubuaye nijina po mubuaye ma ene makoye ene or something minister for lands. And interestingly I'm saying when you're tired enough to be critical, then he solves it. So doing so was an issue, and today Galamsey is also the greatest issue, and we know of what he can do. Maybe will be a channel a bomb is a radimana quatintin. Young turning attention to 69 years following the independence of Ghana. It was 30 minutes to share. Now, you baby, you beat me a crack in the year. The person, near said, they cannot correct the homo yanka. If you saw near Nuni and once, my dear, if you ask me, 69 years after independence, we've had growth, but to me, say a measure development there, I doubt. But we can measure growth. But in terms of development, because then you depends on what is Malaysia, Omnesia don't compare Togo, and the exercise in mediocrity. But Menko Council, Burkina Faso example, Singapore.
I think the
we used to be 10 minutes.
Oh, I should come useless.
Oh, you should 10. 10 will not be bad.
Saturday, I'm saying we can be there. I mean, 69 solid years. It's able to me analyze in year. We should know what is our benchmark. Yes, standard or more. But baby, and I made a discussion when there were two people who said, "Oh, we've made a lot of gains." And yes, too. So yes, is for me. I don't think that we've made a lot of gains. I feel like Yako, and yes, Yako. And I said that say Yako, and you feel that you make gains and can they reset.
Exactly. Reset in the can be brave.
Exactly. 69 solid years. Ghana, highest referral hospital in Kulebu.
Kulebu.
I don't know, are you proud of Kulebu?
David.
Kulebu. Facilities. I mean, me had the Kulebu da surgical ward. I know too. There was a tool they needed. There is nothing painful there. We impart or an amputation. And for the amputation, the tool they need for it, hospital in Yibi, into what's our koto. Mukoto area now we use I don't know what I will be some there. I don't need some of the book of your name, some of the coffee with the query.
Okay, pay for services and give it to make it here. And I don't know you suma or before from.
No, but I mean what I'm saying is because they felt there, so it's your property because I own a thing. Yes. Until probably you want to know, so so I donate it to the unit. And that was when I realized there sometimes we demand too much from our health workers without checking what they also go through. Some of our health workers, akazi gloves keke awon here wo hospital
back home baby.
Most of them what jisika na what they share some of the patients.
Oh. My main cancer maybe.
You understand? These are some of the painful things most of these health workers go through. The same health worker now okojina one year prototron or kutotro if she trotra or beautiful fight about banza na wa for trotro na kwadwum.
We drew office my disoriented no so there could go patients.
No could do adwuma ma. Adwuma na yeah can say a care condition as it's a higher condition but we or quite fun pon you. And obi baba ne hu sabenka ni na they have to deal with it because of adwuma. And I say that your health system or your chicken and egg situation. Sometimes I am who say blame who there about now 1 year near you. But so baby so there what are the conditions that you provided for me? So it's a chicken and egg situation. So they are baha. Because the people so what they are also doing less than we expect from them. Because we also know as our nurses who be able no TikTok. Ijina obejina wa wangasa ekwa obi the emergency akon so kwai card ibeni wu so kwai card ansana
me didn't drew home on the no wura wa wu in fact wa wura me didn't drew home didn't na wheelchair mu onom say me kwai card nti some of them nim say by now they are attending to the person. It took me like close to 30 minutes to be bad. I'm so much started now I'm so much train card he was there that guy there is dead. He was not take Ogusu to wheelchair.
Yeah.
I'm going to train card.
Yes.
Now, wouldn't you answer say, Charlie, sometimes I don't get it.
So, our 69 years, if I health sector in terms of hospitals, our clinics and issues, Obi Bakedo, young cheap compounds, OCC, if you've seen at least UGMC, hospital, Ridge Hospital. Now, Mr. Ridge Hospital, Krakoko show maintenance. Ridge Hospital now 2015 was seen fine. Since I kokoshe Ridge Hospital. Say be na mo ka there health minister Abekan there 10% of the AE should go for the IGF one use for some of these things.
I was happy the way you were interrogating my brother. A good man. Because superintendents are going to chop the money.
Wait for another chop.
Yeah. You understand?
Technocrats
we have so much issues. You ask yourself the 69 years. For education, our school curriculum. Take an average university student from Ghana. Now compare to Montessori, Abofaba, year 6, year 9 Montessori from Cambridge School. Now compare to some of our university students that when go through the Montessori system, you will see difference.
When they baby too.
Wafa, now, Kwame Tech.
So when we Tech and the University of Ghana, UCC, Winneba, and a UPSA, any of them. Now, Cambridge, 6, right?
No, to make us a metro. Minimobia, university. Oba office, one man the laptop, we know how to operate the laptop. But some of these year 5, year 6 of these Montessori schools, for any gadgets in them, they will operate it. They can do PowerPoint. Most of these cannot do PowerPoint. I'm telling you. But why should we have an education system when somebody from university?
Imagine you are a geography student.
You can't do presentation.
Imagine you're a geography student. Slab on the amount. And then they are setting dito MCQ question. Your exams at the university level is 100% MCQs. How does that improve your thinking?
MCQs.
University student,
objectives.
81 kind book where they are dito Christopher Columbus or Conquer Hanum or your exploration. How does that solve modern day problem in Ghana?
Don't dare go there, Sambuja. A history of why.
And then the solve problem.
Oh, you're connected with the past.
Which one? Nana, Mananka, na Montessori from the
but I mean, anyways. Gadgets, I agree. But apart from gadgets, it will be too.
I'm saying apart from gadgets, most of these Montessori, do you know the one on project work?
But we have Ghanaian schools that are doing same.
Your public schools?
No. Private.
And then I say I'm Kwarabi
Ghanaian schools na make Ghanaian Cambridge schools here na make they are better off.
Ghana.
Make a Ghana higher. Yeah, from there Montessori schools.
Yes.
They are better. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That most of these kids do project work. Now, in your Wofuna Montessori school, we catch all the Google the homework. You understand? Google, because most of these kids now use AI.
Are you speaking from experience?
I'm talking from experience.
Because,
what am I saying?
Google, my use. My money, I homework. I just say Google. So, Daddy, this one. Wait, I want to speak to mommy. Because you want to look like a Superman. Daddy knows everything.
I'm saying, I'll forward this.
Wherever Google is, we salute you, sir.
Yeah, but for me, what is smart? Use Google. What would they use Google?
One of the schools, you free, maybe a brand new one. Also, I'm going to be classes. And only my dears in the 8 years. Also, Obisa teaching about the solar system and every day. So, and I'm saying, Obisa teaching about how many planets. Then one of the planets is lost. Is it Pluto or something? Now, teacher, no, I can't count. I was saying, no, Pluto doesn't exist now.
Yeah,
I get that. My body, like teacher, don't want to know. I said, no, see, you go school, you
chair.
My brother said that we have 8 planets. Teacher said, who told you?
I don't know arguments in Binance.
My brother said, teacher said, My very eyes may just see an 9 planet. Okay, when you're 9, I must say no. Pluto, Ayera. My man was going to be, so I had to change our school for them. But also the Maria's in the job. So funny.
So no, you see, we need education. Young woman, Miss Mayan, I the pendulum. Eiba medical 4 years, Eiba medical 3 years, is a 2.5 young green blue track system, whatever system, just because Yaya and your summer or your free SHS into a bit to criticize a buying a wire or your buying program. Can criticize our Uber transfer. So we've done it in a way 69 years. I can't say I'm so proud of our education system. When me papa go school now, what's the university days? They complain that they have eaten chicken too much and then before chicken and buonyebi. They struggle with food.
Isn't also because
recently
of population?
Population that you plan. Okay. That time, I'm sure that the population, they planned. That around is 6 why. Million. Yes. In Canada, what's the motorway? People complained. Why motorway? They complained because if you don't have population, so why would you do this? But some your dream share can. Dream share can. You understand? So I feel that we still have serious challenges. Nana say motorway. The only road that in Coffee Waraba was we will do concrete roads. What ben the only concrete road now what the bitumen? What the bitumen? Now what the patch? Oh. FPP. Nana no Bamia Mobay. Said that Bamia said it that they will do all concrete roads in Ghana. So 69 years. These are the issues that we are confronted with. That today we sometimes measure with some of the things and we see them no. But yes, somebody will say that Sabi, to me obia a bibi money me. You to kakra. Baby or wife kwa Ghana Susana Yakobi pa Kobi pa Iduan as hey Sana Ghana Yakobi pa but baby so I kwa neba ubufu Ghana
na I am for papa no compare
until I make a
you take solace in the
no.
You need a standard. You need a standard to be able to do a better analysis.
Is that my standard?
Standard how Malaysia. As for the Asians, you do BBR because it shows that we are.
But Ghana was ahead of Malaysia. During
Ghana, when we think of them, we will always say we are celebrating mediocrity. I don't cry Ghana. Me feel the I do power yembra na your systems in terms of loss.
But I don't know how
most of our African compatriots came to learn from us in terms of our loss.
How enforceable are they?
That's a different conversation because when you trigger it, it will be there to work.
Now can see sliding scale where US in a big way to it's not because Ghana implement you. Okay. Once you implement it, say Kim, all other African countries will come and learn.
Yeah. Okay. And most of the times they come here to come and learn.
Oh, so many times now
they come and learn from even Ghana.
Other countries are in the ministry of land system, say they mining. Yeah. They come every day.
As for those processes, Ghana,
we are trying.
We are, but sometimes it took African country. You do airport crisis, more airport. But then you also ask yourself one question. Maybe to the Rwanda, what airport onto Ghana in any way? But then you can count a lot of Rwanda air, ROC, water marker. You ask yourself, then Ghana you're doing. The airport does not meet is nowhere close to our airport.
Kenya say, our airport no nya ibia o, ba oduru hono mo a aircraft ahodo esi wono.
Even Cote d'Ivoire crowd airline. Cote d'Ivoire has an airline.
But just for the records,
Tanzania has an airline.
President Mahama said.
Honanka.
President Mahama said, "Ansano Bekono." was back national airline.
Just
for them. We want a shipping line too, like Black Star Line. We don't mind back one side.
It's not enough. The reason why I'm saying is that how shall we do back? No, grinding back.
So you should use the law. That's why he has a 2/3 majority.
So that is the key problem we have here is enforcing and cracking the whip.
Because President Mohammed it will take a long time.
Is it?
So President Mohammed Man's son with this 2/3 majority. It will take a long time.
No, that is. I mean, I'm kind of one of. I mean, I've said it and I always continue to say, would they be but I'll still say it. One of my problems I have with this current administration is cracking the whip.
So early days yet, 1 year.
Oh yo, some kind of man some since last year. Early days yet. You would die because you see, that year can if President Mahama obey Ghana fair. What is the surety the okwa no biba on the say nichi? When people know that there are systems that work, it does not fear who you are. It will humble you. Now, in catching Obi. Not because Obi a friendly under the Mimpokun is being treated differently. Mende Ajimamenu to me be said on the quiet one day. Abe bay, they that way you could be out to my friend. Ajimamenu. The one who said he wasn't thinking right.
$9 or the 19.
You know, so for me, these are where the issues are. These are where the issues are.
Okay.
But 69 years, there might be some of the things like we are saying, them kakra. But I think that the major challenge is that we do not have a system that works. For instance, we don't have a transport system in Ghana currently. We don't. It is only we are so over-reliant on road. Our rail, our water, transport, non-existent. You understand?
Compare London Bridge, So you've been to London. Right?
Oh yes.
What compare London Bridge now compare
the London Bridge in year or years?
Yes.
How much money they are even making, even when they don't use it. In how much money they make it out of tourism?
Almost only too big wide as compared to Odo River, no.
And I saw Odo River and I don't care about a tourist house. Or the boat in Bebugudumo.
Senior council, with all due respect. If we are talking about serious matters, I am MPP man.
And I said these are Bosha, we need to wash it.
Okay, but council, my main
69 years. As I feel the Kababra, Semukura, or Kafa, Nipa Hono Yabum. Say, Nipa Bedin feared your song. The Akabian here, Game Ishira, extra time. The Gagana, Nipa Anka. A calf in a DMF amnesia. Okay. A public didn't fear do a deal song. And my brother to say Ghana. Opa Paranoa, will you be proud or not? Sanko Monona. Ye na Sanse Ghana ye kurunti. Why na ye fa so bo no ma no se ye feel say ye nuru ba bi e pesi du no. Why na ye fa so bo no e mo no. Se ye feel say ye duru ba bi ye duru no so a. Why na ye fa aseda no e ma no. Me feel say o de ye ho toto wo no eno mo sha ase a. Na he ba bi e bi mo duru. He ba bi e bi mo da so tia. Ye boy ho kumfo a enye ye. Sanso me my home fans so see aya a enye. I believe there is still more room for improvement. Amanyo samwa kandifo fa omo abaye. Fabino abo amaye wana dumpempenso bi. E fa bi so atwe oman no asan kwanyesa nyina so. Excessive partisan and tribalism. Say bibia enye na manyo semo busia semo a ebi mo de share ya manyo semo no na yekabam na se na amoaye. And now to see as economic dialogue na NPP ama, this is not their first time. Now me yeko senti Mahama 1 wɔn amma na no ada Papa J apeso yen konkotwe constitution 1992 constitution wɔn amma
because the yes and common lawyers wɔn quote free 1992 constitution
Kwame Nkrumah ni so adi hunu wɔn se enye papa wɔn ne ko brande no so wɔ dictator na Ghana fo kora nte ade no ase wi wɔn so akɔgye bosom bi a yɛfrɛ no kanka nyame wodi kum nipa seye kuma bi but mama ka wo fidi case so say abakwase ba me yate ase say Kwame Nkrumah the greatest leader of all time as far as ye kuru ye chichire is of concern na ku fado ne nana JB Dankwa no otwe na ba picture no mu no JB Dankwa ni teacher ni ko election ma no bitino teacher ni anu oni he Kwame Nkrumah is the only African leader made a man reading history if there is any no more guide me. Say, what that fiase so now you to Obama na bonti overwhelmingly.
He was adjudged the greatest African of the millennium.
What I say?
1,000 years back, the greatest African. It's not easy.
Enti ya na nkrofo deliberate. Ni party as more time na ni tunu ade so amana ni so ade hunu nyina kademo. Na maniti na anu ada monne mrantie bidi mo anu tu se sa ye wiem shejina brewe na se edi kotoka na da so na me bom abaso papa because one abofra bi bepeja kra me akasi kotoka na ye ne dia.
That's right.
How these people have succeeded in distorting history, trying to bury the truth. But in Penny say Emfa hone said they would jabesi no ewusie be yinadi. Look at the way for the first time after 68 years of trying to bury the truth. Look at how Ghanaians celebrated the 69th independence of this country. Masa, Makola stampede, Kejetia stampede. People are looking for Ataria Yentre mu Ghana keke. And most of their designs featured Osadefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's picture. Kuntumpu ene no kure kwa ukazi kuntumpu betime dikan mum na society bia no kure be dikuni. And that is what is happening. We are waking up to the reality. Ade ache ama Ghana for titru mabu na ewo mu no ye hunu no kure. Aden na nye Dr. Osadefo Kwame Nkrumah ene ya Osadefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah de dia. Na even in Ghana hanom kandini ben oba Asantema council amanu obodini wi Kwame Nkrumah ne Kofi Annan ya Kwame Nkrumah de Osadefo Kofi Annan de Ebusumuru because Kwame Nkrumah nya opportunity no okọ otumfo honom then otumfo di na ni so de hunu kotu bi wurani ewura tena sidin no se asem a wabai asem de men ko a mentie ko mesa afrew ko no of some emergency Asantema council meeting and of friend Nkrumah bai asem a be ka chem kukom kana hemfu nyina ntibi Nkrumah kan ye kwan opeso ye motorway opeso ye port opeso ye way how opeso lenke kuafo be nyamfa so we happen on sampa o say de ndi woni ye jefo ampa ti free neko we ye o sajefo obadu cabinet dependence said the Asantema council when you said you so more money any at the time PAD na nya fa biaguro so obi dey doctor ko say di biachi but how prestigious sir animonyam Asantema council this year Kwame Nkrumah na TNT they decided to write it Sajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah MPP for UP free to te basin there one point back up you are recognizing no to the extent that papa we no you were coercing the poor woman madam Nyaneba say one kase Nyaneba na Kwame Nkrumah adiachi akoso money ya beti ya kenkan ya hunu say papa no na see ya motorway no the port no hwan no niema kese de mu atonton no de aka nyina ya te bema be ye bi wa me ni nyina saa pese minkum nya no a wo UP ni a ene wo manyini abaye MPP no wo mo afa no da so didi nipa ni bi adwene mo even when he is a technocrat no odwin the party no ho sen ne man no a otim no kwaje nana enuti obia feel say eba no aban dia yendi na bro aban ni kamafo na nye sa wo kwaje wo light bill wo water meter e wo fie no obabu so bucket na burusu kakra bi pe o pe konti ba kura kumba na so duro adwuma mo atumi bi tap no ogina ba bi na ye ko na ebu fa so 69 years asuban no ene da so tedi a na nei ye be di 1009 ne da so te class 1 abrantie no ato merike wo hwe bia ye ti a no pa de atso ho paper de atare anu de se fridge mu merike ba ko within 3 days ye ko government conference di akwabra ne yi merike bi enu obo anu hwe di nyina egura so tabu anom sa su ne ban no a e aban de ade an ye yense no you be doing 3,000 yet to class 1. Now imagine as a country when we say the large scale side aspect of your minerals exploitation, no, they are both locals and international. But small scale, no, they are so prerogative of your locals. Now Ghana ni kwabrania ba ade what the sense with the kwadwe ya boa. Abeje concession no no so oje akoma China.
You are your kwadwe ya boa.
Ebinya mbra kwadwe ya boa na meka. Go fi Yesu ra ka go fi Yesu. Mbra kwadwe ya boa na meka. Kwadwe ya boa. Ya go wo. Ti kwadwe asodi o. Kwadwe ya boa nya wa. O de disclaimer ka se ba, maza. Mo ma inkrim ko wo ho wa da. Go fi Yesu.
Yes, 24 hours super.
Go fi Yesu. Nana, sir, you see, your friend local content. The white man or the foreigner can bring the investment in the area of mining firms settled near there. But we need to say contract mining, we need to say supplies, we need to say employment near there. You information for next cano, you not the repellent effect in our economy. Obi betima kwa die ni ma kwa di contract no. No asubleti mobile di just $10,000. $20,000. A contract of $20 million, $100 million. No, no, $10,000. Office where he. Nana sa subani ya da so ti adia. And you be 1,009. You engineers and planners and so be that. Because Ibrahim Mahama or subletting a contractor and could move a be wardrobe. Robotech Alajali or subletting a contractor could move a be wardrobe. People must begin to take the hard pill. What I say? Abrantia wasi so papa kura bo bra no onya basekre musanga Volvo ni bitoy no wadin fi aduasa. And let 21 years you want to be rich overnight. Aduma kura wunye bi.
Pause upon no so mojaba.
It is say pa na opasa wo ye no. Wo nkuni pa na okoto nu bone. 109 years we will not make headway. Anything media mesre say you nuru ba bi e pesi eduru no de. There are several instances here babo ye mpenifo no adapa atwo mo na ase aka kyerem so mo anya de but ya nka say timamfo no so ye start na ye nye ye ho aduro because we mate ni a wo fa me free Madina ba no pa na agi 7 cedi na edu anwumre de wo fa me yesi 37 wo simi Shangri-La wo simi Shiashi asana sanfo mako Madina wo be ka bom 25 cedi mi ni binti ahotira maka kwamu no ya me bibisa.
All right.
Nana me dasi ye ko die kramofu no say Allahumma baligna
ready.
Oh
yeah, ready.
Allahumma baligna laylatul qadr 10 night of decree.
Okay.
And kramofu ye drum.
All right.
Ye man kramofu nyina Ramadan Mubarak.
Very
well. Bia o laylatul qadr Allah wa.
Very well. Ma ye first year no me na kabare ase ye na GSS. Mo am follow on Facebook, mo ay na mudi nkomo ye dem ase production team. Thank you so much. Be Nana Otu DarKo. We are back tomorrow same time. Ma hu dia sempa. Ma hu abara nya kwa bro no ma. So news team is ready. I'm out of here. Stay on.